As we had last left it off, the party recently found themselves in Tokyo. A little bit of shopping around and getting to know the locals pretty much dominated the entirety of our last session. I've just lost everyone on Roll20 again. Hey, they're all back, roughly. You went into the Fox's Cunning and met the 3 foxes and became aware of their competition, where if you're able to discover which one of them is the actual fox and provide evidence as to why they're the fox, then you get a free item of your choice from their store. Whilst there, you also ran into an old frenemy, Heren. Heren was looking for very specific materials because unfortunately they got denied at the gate due to the unknown troubles happening in the capital that forced the closure of the gate again. Who knows why that happened? So they returned to Brian, had to set up shop again, and unfortunately ran out of materials on the selling out. So, Verity was able to convince him that it was in Heron's best interest to provide them with a means to contact them, and in so doing, was able to get a teleportation circle address directly into Wade's store in Brian. Meanwhile, Rennas and Arri went to go see the Tipper HQ. You were given a message that Timothy Tipper, the leader of the Tippers, has summoned you both to the frontier for an unknown reason. You were also given a number of missions. The most important ones, they weren't going to give you the lower stuff. But one particular mission took interest in yourselves, the mission to find a Rakshasha that was encroaching in on their territory and killing their agents. You went over to Jackalopes, the Lopes and the Pokes, and thanks to a very conveniently placed True Sight spell from Korgrin, completely, utterly destroyed the Ocean's 11 plot I had going, and was able to discover the identity of the Rakshasha as soon as you walked in through the fucking door. You hang around the bar a little bit, scouting him out, and then when he seemingly finished his shift, he went home. Arrabella approached him on the way, had a minor conversation with him, where he acted bemused and confused at the whole situation before leaving on his way. He went inside his home, and then a few minutes later, a very scantily clad dressed Arrabella came out. And that was where he had left it off.
I was saying to Richard earlier, if I didn't say a word to him, it would have been a scantily dressed Korgrin. And that would have been fucking hilarious.
But not as fun for the rest of us.
It would have been hilarious for me.
Now, why would it have been me? Because I was the last person to speak to him.
Mm-hmm.
Fair.
So, this fake Arrabella is currently walking off down the street away from the direction that you guys currently are scoping him out, or her out. Seem to be making their way towards back towards the bridge that overgoes to the second layer of Mount Tokyo, close to the abandoned Peanuts. What would you guys like to do?
I believe I was planning to chase after her to confront her as to why she just has looking like me and looking as she is looking like me after I have smacked the 2 gentlemen in our party.
I mean, I'm glad that I'm not getting smacked because I'm clearly not a gentleman, so I will be following Arri in stealthy thing behind her.
Alright, go ahead and make a stealth roll, please, Rennas.
Oh, imagine my shock at the 25.
So, Rennas, you disappear into the shadows as Arrabella starts pacing herself towards this fake version of herself. Are you going straight up to the individual?
Yeah.
Can I, while that's happening, check if this is a busy area? Are there people walking by? Is it?
There are people walking by. It is evening at the moment, so it's generally the odd guard here and there, and people either making their way home, making their way to whatever nighttime entertainment would have you, or just going about their business. Really, it's not as busy as it would be during the day, but there are certainly people walking about.
Can I try and clear the area a little bit?
How would you like to do that?
I don't want to get the guards' attention, but I feel like that's probably going to happen. But if anyone's kind of coming near, can I just be like, take another path home, please? I feel like the streets are going to be a bit rowdy tonight. If you could all just take another path, that would be great. Thank you.
This could go either way. This could go either persuasion or intimidation. Your choice.
I'd like to go intimidation. I at least have proficiency in intimidation.
Sure. So you're just being a little bit more forceful.
Shit.
So as you're saying this to people, most of them just sort of scoff and laugh. Others will be like, "Well, if there is any trouble, sir, I'm sure the guards will be able to handle it." And they continue on their way.
Too polite.
Korgrin's not scary.
So, just to clarify, what is Otti, Bellatrix, and Verity doing as Arri is charging up to this fake Arri?
I mean, we don't really know that much. All we know is that this is I kind of remember where I stood last time, and I was kind of like, So I'm gonna follow slightly farther behind, but not get involved or anything, because as I said, we were supposed to be reconning this guy.
Yeah.
I will also, be following, but just as sort of backup for Arri.
Okay, sure. Verity? So are you lagging behind? Are you walking with Arri? Sulking. Okay, so Verity goes and sulks in the corner. So Arrabella, you march straight up to this person. You are right behind her. She seems to be walking about her pace. I mean, It's more of a case that either she hasn't heard you or she's selectively ignoring you.
I'm gonna the shoulder. As I was walking behind her, I'm like kind of taking my cloak off.
Yeah.
I'll grab her shoulder, say, like, turn her to face me, chuck the cloak on like the front of her, and just be like, "What are you doing? Like, I get this is kind of your thing, but why me? Why that clothes?
Well, what are you doing here?
Telling you off for looking like me and wearing those clothes.
You look just like me.
I'm not doing
Are we
it.
related?
No, we're definitely not related. I know you're a Rakshasha. I'm guessing this is one of the things that you do.
Do you make a wisdom saving throw? That is a fail. Your eyes kind of gloss over, and you now find yourself liking this person, agreeable as person's cast charm person at you.
Fantastic.
Hey, no, I totally understand. No, honestly, I just liked how much you looked so much that I felt that perhaps maybe we could, share it a little. Perhaps going on an adventure, just you and me.
Sweet of you to say. Oh, I'd love to go on an adventure with you. That would be amazing.
Wonderful. Say what?
Go.
Why don't you? Right. So here's my plan. I've hidden a treasure down that street down there. You're going to have to go down and knock at number 9, the East Road. When you get to the door, when the person opens the door, you say, Bunny is here. And I'm going to go down that one and get the other treasure, and we'll meet back here in 5 minutes, yeah?
Sounds very fun to me. Why would I say my name's Bunny?
No, that's part of the that's how you know that's how that person knows to give you the treasure. It's a password.
Do you even know how to adventure? I've been on an adventure for like 2 months now, and this is not an adventure. This is silly.
It's the build up to an adventure.
Where's the risk to life? Where's the combat? Where's the fighting? Where's the destroying the creatures from the underworld?
No. Once you get the treasure, that's when people come and get you.
Well, what is the treasure?
That's a secret. You have to find out. Off you go now, love. Go find the treasure.
Like, I'm not going to do it. I'm charmed by it. I think she's lovely, but...
So what I want you to do is, because this is an opposed thing, I want you to make an insight check, whereas the Rakshasha is going to make a persuasion roll at advantage because you are charmed.
Okay. I'm seeming to like 15s tonight.
Where's Sam? You are.
I'm gonna have to go tell someone my name's Bunny. Yep, I'm gonna have to go tell someone my name's Bunny.
Yes, you are.
My name is not Bunny, guys.
Okay. Alright then, I'll see you here in 5 minutes. And the fake Arri walks off back down towards the street.
I will be following the fake Arri.
Arri, you find yourself magically compelled to
go to number 9 and knock on the door and tell them my name is Bunny.
I mean,
so the rest of you seen Arri have a minor violent conversation that sort of just chilled out almost immediately, and then after a couple of minutes, she sort of walks away and starts going back down the street. So that's what the rest of you have noticed. What are the rest of you going to do?
Verity, do you want to go and get your sister? Wait, which one is your sister? Because that's now got the cloak on. Oh, I'm very confused now.
Need a red X on a real Arri. Draw a red X on my forehead. That's the real Arri.
I mean, one is dressed very scantily, the other is not.
This is also very true.
No, because
I am definitely following the scantily dressed one.
We can't see because we've got the cloak on.
Verity, it's not really an insight. It's more of a case of clearly Arri is being compelled to do something that she wouldn't normally do because this goes completely against what her character is about. Like, you were fully expecting Arri to like lay the smackdown on this bitch, and then she's just like, "Oh wow, you're like my best friend. Let's go on an adventure."
Like, if I see Verity on my way to number 9, I'll be like, "Oh, come on, we're going on an adventure. We gotta go to number 9 and tell them my name's Bunny."
I don't think. No, the spell magic won't have an effect on charmed person because the spell's already happened. It's a condition. It would have to be something akin to a restoration. Or it would. Hold on. Let me Google that.
Magical effect within range. Yeah, it's a magical effect. You can't be charmed by, like, poison or something.
No.
And you, as you said, she was magically compelled.
Yeah. Just reading. If Google will fucking load for me, thank you very much. I don't know why you don't want to load beyond that. See, I've never actually run across this before. It's interesting. It's calm emotions, identify, great restoration. Magical effect. Charm person, you choose it. Till the spell ends, or you and your companions do anything harmful to it. Then is that the case, would it be a dispel magic on the person or the Rakshasa? I'm gonna say it works just for now, and then I'll actually figure out the actual fucking answer to it later. So, as you're walking away, Arri, Verity comes up to you and she just sort of waves her hand, and this wash of negative energy, this boom, just washes over your head. And in that precise moment, you know you were charmed.
Ah, you fucking charmed me. Why Bunny? Come on. I'm guessing that they can charm people.
So, Rennas, you were still following you were ignoring Arri. You were going for fake Arri, right?
I'm following the sexy Arri. You know.
Yeah. Literally 10 seconds after she left the snow, she turned the corner. You following her, then you lost sight of her completely. She looks like she went completely invisible on the spot.
What a bitch. Okay, look, I will wait where I am, expecting the rest of the party to be following along, catch up with the direction they were going.
Yeah, literally about 20 seconds later, they catch up. Arri looking fuming.
She turned invisible. I lost her. Don't know where she's gone. Arri, you've got a cute ass.
Fuck you. Does she still have my cloak?
Yes.
Anybody want to try and do the whole find thing on my cloak? You will know what it looks like. Hopefully she's
punched.
still wearing it. And I'll say thank you to Verity.
It was a compliment.
I don't have locate object today, unfortunately.
It's magic malarkey, so unreliable. I'm so glad I just got daggers and a bow.
So Rennas, Verity punches you in the arm.
It was a compliment.
Compliment shouldn't make you feel violated.
I didn't turn into you. Don't blame me for his actions.
Just not talking to you now.
So, how would you guys like to proceed? What would you like to do?
I mean, invisible doesn't mean silent, correct?
No.
So there's probably too much noise going on to try and listen for the footsteps of the Rakshasha in whatever street or alley it went down. But maybe.
Go ahead, Emily. If you'd like to make a perception check to try and...
Doesn't someone still have true sight?
Mine probably would have gone. It lasted an hour, but...
Yeah, no, it's been over an hour since Korgrin cast it, so...
Hello, Lesley. Also, I did get your message, but I was really busy that day and I forgot to message back, and I feel really bad about it now, but yeah.
Bro, if we do move there, I can literally see your front door out the window.
Ah, you stalker!
Yep. I'm moving there just to be close to you.
I've lost everyone, including me, on Roll20.
Yeah, mine's playing up as well. Streamer can see Meg, but I don't think Meg's moving, so I don't think I can really see Meg.
I think it might be my
And I can see no one but me.
I could see Lesley. Oh, I've gone now. And I'm back. I'm blinking out, in and out of existence.
As am I.
Lol, so random, Roll20. So random. Now, I can see Bella, Arri, and Korgrin in fixed positions.
I bet you that's beautiful.
Like Arri's got that bit of a double chin thing going on. Korgrin looks like somebody sucking his toe. And Bella looks like she's enjoying watching Korgrin Korgrin having somebody suck his toe.
Accurate.
Anyways, well, cameras will come whenever they come. So, if you'd like to make a perception check to try and identify where this Rakshasha has gone whilst invisible, you can go ahead and do so. Sorry, I just noticed that you rolled a 23.
Anybody else suddenly stopped here in Discord?
Yeah, just
No,
silence.
I'm just making some rolls. Just making some rolls.
Okay.
Korgrin, as you can't really hear anything, but you're keeping your eyes peeled, and you notice a little bit further down the street, on the opposite end, there is a small puddle. There's a minor little splash, almost as if that is nothing. That's sort of edges down an alleyway a little bit.
Who was that?
Pardon
Point.
me,
Oh.
sorry.
Fucking hell.
Wow! Like, it's been a while, George, since I heard you burp, to be fair.
Solid.
We were upset about
Solid.
that. We're here, Meg.
I was just very, very shocked.
Better out than in.
Sorry.
It's okay. Like, it's a natural bodily function. You're allowed to do it.
Oh,
Allegedly.
wait.
I
Some
should
people-
disgusting.
Get off on that. But yes, I will point it out and say, that puddle splashed. Shall we go?
I was actually hoping to take over from Arri and go to number 9.
Okay.
You know that
So,
you're probably that's probably like how he disposes of people, right?
I just want to do a little investigating. I'm not going to knock on the door or anything.
okay. So, Verity, you head off in the opposite direction. You go on for about a minute or so until eventually
I
you
give my
find the
spider to
house.
Arri so I can get back to them later.
No worries.
I just say
But
be safe.
I mean, she's not too far away. You can literally just see her like further down the main thoroughfare, where you find the house labelled number 9. It is a 2-story house made mainly of wooden thatch. There are a number of cat-like decorations out the front. Has there's a lot of weeds growing in the front yard of it, but beyond that, it looks just like pretty much every other house on the street.
I mean, go for everyone else's pursuit before I investigate this place, I think. Oh, I don't know. I was just gonna poke in my head in the window and stuff and then catch up to everyone else, really.
It's very easy to do. Go ahead and make a perception check.
Ugh, I see shit.
Maybe quite literally.
Sorry, I'm just actually reloading Roll20 at the moment, so I can't see any rolls.
I'll be back in 1 second as well.
What did you roll, Verity?
12.
12. Alright,
Yeah,
so you look inside the window. You have to sort of stand on your tiptoes a little bit. Because there's not glass here. It's like it's a flap like area, so it is currently open. And staring inside, you see a regular looking house, tables and chairs, and there's an old man in there. He appears to be elven. He's currently playing a game, effectively Rosham. No, what's the word? Shogi.
Okay.
Yeah. So he seems to be playing that by himself at the moment, and he's just kind of just like looking out very intently. He hasn't noticed you.
What you doing? I'm gonna regret this.
Hello. Are you okay?
Yeah. I just noticed you were playing something with yourself there.
Yes. Why are you staring at me through my window?
Something I do. I'm a window looker.
Right. He walks over to the window and slowly and awkwardly closes the flaps.
Who's funny?
No response.
I go back to everyone else.
All right. So, barely a couple of minutes after Verity split off from the group, she returns. God, Roll20 is going absolutely bonkers at the moment. It's constantly reloading
Don't worry, guys.
everything.
It's just a crazy old cat man. Playing with
Anyways,
himself.
so how would you guys like to proceed?
Well, follow the.
How many people have we got? How many people have we got away at the moment? We've got Rich and Arri.
I'm
away at
back.
the moment, haven't we? Oh, there we go.
I know, Arri. I was thinking just pursue, really.
Yeah,
Okay.
if Korgrin's got a direction in sight, then yeah, follow.
Okay, so you make your way over towards that particular puddle / alleyway that this splash happens. You go down it. You now appear to be sort of in the mixed match of a whole bunch of buildings, like sidewalks, not traditional alleyways. Like there are alleyways around, but the streets here are a lot more condensed and packed and well worn. You can see discarded carts on the side, lots of bushes growing on the sides of the buildings as well. It's not the most touristy part of Now Tokyo, shall we say.
Just means I fit right in.
You have a brief look around, and it's a lot more secluded around this particular area. I want you to make a group perception check for me, please.
May I guidance?
Of course.
Oh! 29. Didn't break the 30. Damn it.
And perception from Arri and Bella.
Arri perceived with a 16.
I got a 16, yeah.
Oh yeah. So who are we missing? 1, 2.
My
Fair
sheet
enough.
is
Oh,
taking
I
a
just-
million years to load.
No worries.
Perception, yeah?
Yes, please.
Ugh. I can only just about see it on my tiny screen.
Lovely. Okay. So, you guys wander down this particular street for a little while, having a good look around. Whoever this Rakshasha is, they're very good at hiding their tracks. They don't seem to have made anything of note. No evidence left behind or anything to that regard. However, you, as you're walking down these streets, Arri, you do clock a middle-aged man, a little bit pot-bellied, as he kind of walks past you in the group. And, like, he looks at you and like does a double take at you and looks confused, and then continues walking onwards.
I get the feeling that if we keep going and I keep getting funny looks, we're probably going the right way.
How did you get changed so fast? Sum up the funny looks you're getting.
Right, so you continue searching the immediate area, and you get a couple more of those looks on occasion. Until eventually, in a much more secluded part of these condensed areas, near where it's more of a working place, like a few warehouses around here, like larger houses that act more as storage areas. You can see what appears to be a very scantily clad human woman, currently speaking with a human man in very hushed tones, but very suggestive body language.
Is it the same clothes that, in air quotation marks, Arri was wearing?
Similar. Like, Arri's clothes were more suited for a halfling of smaller stature and size, whereas this person, it's more designed to show off the slenderness of a regular humanoid body. But she's the only night worker who you've seen in this immediate area after investigating for the better part of 20 minutes.
Can we approach the man? Or can I approach the man? I don't know.
Yeah, if you want to.
I think if Korgrin's been looking around for 20 minutes, I'd probably slink off and head back to the original house that we saw the Rakshasha go into in the first place.
Okay. We'll get to that in a bit, Rennas.
Yeah, that's fine.
Korgrin, you go up to this man. He sees you approaching, and he immediately just like coughs, and then just sort of like gives a nod towards this lady, and just sort of spins around on the spotlight, thinking where is he going to go, and then just picks a direction, and just walks very intently.
I just want to know. I know you've seen me. I've seen you. You made that eye contact, and then you looked away. It was that awkward, I've been spotted. But I don't care what you do of your evenings. Just, have you seen someone that looks like her but dressed like her come through here? And I point at Arri, and then I point at the night worker.
Yeah, she was charging way too much for what she was offering.
Oh, yikes. Any direction, by any chance?
Oh. She, I saw her right over there, and he points towards one of the larger warehouses.
Great. You enjoy your evening, no judgment, by all means, crack on.
Thank you, heavily armoured holy man.
We're all God's
name.
beings. I assume everyone else heard the, conversation.
Yeah. Okay. So, meanwhile, Rennas, you've made your way back to this house. It looks like, in a similar description as to previously, it is a very composite house, made not to stand out or anything like that. Wood, thatch, panels, the likes. You go up to the front door. It is locked.
I would like to thieves' tools that front door open.
Sure, go right ahead. Make a thieves' tools checks, please.
Thieves' tools. I'm assuming dexterity as the modifier.
That's right, yes.
23.
Put the thieves' tools in there. Small little ping that tells you that the door is now unlocked.
And I would like to have a good hunt around this house and trying to find out who the hell this guy is and why he's both moonlighting as a bouncer and a hooker by the looks of it.
Okay, so making your way inside, The thing that strikes you most odd about this place is that there seems to be nothing out of place at all. It looks like a regular home where somebody lives in. The dish area is a little dirty with dirty pots and pans. Looks like they don't, wash up very much, or just, leave it till the end of the week or whatever. A few dirty clothes on the floor. There is a singular bed in there. It's springy. It's not a bed, but one of those floor mats. But there is a mattress on the floor that is a bit springy. Most of the lanterns on the inside are not lit. There are a few books scattered here and there to give various fictional tales and the like. I want you to make an investigation check, please, as you really look into this place.
I want to be specifically looking for anything personal. So
Sure.
any pictures, like letters, anything like that. Oh!
Alright. So you do find what you're looking for about a dozen times. This person clearly leads about a dozen different lives here in Mel Tokyo. He's clearly, a greeter at Jackalopes, Elopes and Pokes. He clearly has a select favoritism of clientele within his or its nightlife. He appears to have a weekend job at the Forbidden Temple. There's credentials there and the like. The thing that points out probably the most oddest to you is that there's absolutely nothing to suggest that this person is a Rakshasha, other than the fact that they are clearly living multiple lives. And it's not like, this person's picked a life and lived it and created copies of themselves to prove they live it for like a week or two. This person's clearly been living these lives for an extended period of time, maybe 6 months, maybe more.
Interesting. I was very much expecting to find things that suggested this wasn't his house.
No, apparently from where you can tell, it is their house.
In that case, I'd probably like to find a blank piece of paper somewhere amongst the house.
Oh, easily findable.
I'll write on the back of one. And I'll just write a note saying, there are people that want you dead. I have clearly found my way into your home and can do so again. If you would like me to not do so when you're here, now I need to decide what sort of code I'm going to do. We're staying in the abandoned peanut, aren't we? That's our current lodgings.
Yeah.
Leave a message for Lavandir at the abandoned peanut.
Lavandir, okay.
Indeed. And I will leave that slap bang in the middle of the floor where he couldn't possibly miss it when he comes in.
Okay.
And I will leave.
All right. Meanwhile, the rest of the party, you make your way over closer to the place where this gentleman pointed out where he last saw the fake Arrabella. So a few puddles around here, a few discarded things. You can clearly see that the entrance to the warehouse is down here.
It's a pretty bad stakeout if we can't see this guy. So, I'm gonna move around to the door.
Okay.
Yep.
So it's closed at the moment.
Could I perception again, just to see if I can hear anyone in the area, or if there's noises coming from the warehouse? If there's anyone, this obviously feels like a trap, but if there's anyone that isn't just fake Arri in there,
Go ahead and make a perception check,
Shuffling.
please.
Okay. Ooh. It was pretty good.
It's disturbingly quiet in there.
Like I was expecting to hear maybe coughing or creaking, but there's nothing. There's no life in it. There's no wildlife in there. There's no wind howling through the roof. There's
That might be a good idea.
Forgot that you can do that. Aye, go for it.
Okay. So, is Toby an owl at the moment?
Spider.
Spider. Okay. So, you send the spider underneath the cracks in the door. It is dark within. Does the spider have dark vision? Yes, it does. Yeah. Okay. So, the spiders do have dark vision. Go ahead and make a perception check as a spider, please. Then you would add the spiders. They don't have any bonuses to that, so it's quite literally just a 16. That's pretty good then. Difficult to see from the perspective of a spider. Like, everything's so much bigger to you in this place. But across the warehouse from you, there's like loads and loads of boxes, like stacked very, very high in here. There is a small table where there is some food, a pack of playing cards there. You can sense through the creature's blind sight that there is somebody in there.
Spider fact.
Sorry, Jack, you cut out a bit. Did you say I could sense someone in the next room?
Yes, you can sense somebody inside the warehouse.
So, like, whilst I'm outside to everyone else, I can't see anything and I can't hear anything, but I can still talk. So I'm just gonna be like, there's one room, but then there's someone in the next room, you guys. I'm not gonna be able to see them properly.
No, I don't think there was a second room, right? But I don't remember Jack saying anything about a second room.
No, that's in like it's like further across inside the warehouse that you sense this individual. Yeah.
There's like a what?
Like further inside.
I still didn't get that.
So basically, you went underneath the doors to the warehouse, and then you're in a large, wide open space with like mountain stacks of boxes everywhere. And then ahead of you, you do sense somebody like ahead of you, not in another room, just a lot more in the center of the actual warehouse itself.
So I explained that to everyone. Yeah, I forgot. As a spider, technically can't see.
Well, spiders, as according to the monsters manual, they can see. They have dark vision up to 30 feet.
Okay, so I'm just gonna like.
So I'm going with those mechanics.
Sure. As my spider self, then I'm just gonna like scuttle on over, like.
I want the spider to make a stealth check, please.
Stealth check.
Unless you're not trying to stealth.
I might as well try to stealth. It's +2 dexterity. For spiders, and they have a +4 to stealth. Nice. Still sucked. I am as stealthy as the spiders, guys. You. So yeah,
Okay,
just gonna
so
make my way.
As the spider scuttles along, getting close to this person, you hear definitively a very, very familiar voice to you. You say, "I hate spiders." Something
I
gets
tried to dodge out of the way before I get hit.
well, they're making an attack roll. It's an improvised attack roll. They're throwing something at the spider.
Okay, well I have a
Natural one.
of 12.
So it scares the shit out of Toby, but it misses.
Yeah, I'm just like going for a wall or something. I don't know. Vertical. I must get vertical.
No, there's plenty of.
Was Arri's voice.
Yeah, that's right. And there are plenty of boxes in there that the spider can hide into, so it's not going to be an issue.
The bitch threw a shoe at me.
So, Verity, who is currently sitting down, blinded and deafened, just immediately shouts out, "The bitch threw a shoe at me!" What are you all going to do?
Well, I guess we know that someone's in there.
Actually, Korgrin, with your active perception, you heard that clump of something hitting a wooden floor inside.
Tap me now if you want me to cast a fireball through Toby at them. Just tap me now, anyone.
Maybe we see what they've got to say. I mean, this doesn't seem overtly hostile, but at the same time, it's not exactly.
I mean, to be fair, I've squished spiders before. Just because you squish spiders, not make you a bad person. So
I can't hear any of this.
And pick the lock. They're gonna hear me though.
It might not necessarily be locked.
There's no lock on the door.
I thought you said the door was locked.
Shut.
I said it was closed.
I could have sworn you said it was locked, but yeah, sure.
My door was locked, but I went back to his house.
Yeah, the house that Rennas is at was locked.
Ah, okay.
Can I step up here and just see if there's another entrance, like down there? Is that another alleyway? Is there another door along?
Yes.
Is there a door up there?
Not that you can see, no.
Fair enough. Just let everyone know. Might be a one way in, one way out kind of scenario. Do we just want to go in? Or do we wait for Rennas? Or
sorry, I come out of Toby. So what is the actual play here, guys? Are we going in to fight, or are we just going like what's going on?
all we know is that this guy is a demon or a devil or something, and that I'm reconning. Oh, that's what I'm doing. I'm reconning him. I'm not doing anything else. Fiend, this one. I ain't killing him. He ain't done anything bad.
no, but he is a demon.
Rennas, after a thorough search and leaving the note, would have been on his way back to where he last saw you guys, but whether he'll catch up with you in time
Make a
is
dexterity
dependent.
check.
Okie doke.
It's because
Because you are
someone
fast
is
as fuck.
I am indeed.
born
But not
evil.
today, apparently. A 12.
We'll be there in a few minutes.
Okie doke.
Sorry, what are you saying, Arrabella?
Just because someone's born evil doesn't mean that they are evil, or they're born in a fiendish body. You can't just assume someone's evil. We have no actual evidence of this person being evil or doing anything evil.
My religion check. The Rakshasha.
For what information?
Basically, if they are evil through and through, every single one of them, if there has ever been a redeemable quality in a Rakshasha or anything like that, basically.
Yeah, go ahead and make a religion check. 18. Okay. You know that the Rakshasha employs delicacy and restoration in its pursuits of dominion over others. Few creatures ever really see a Rakshasha in its true form because it can take any guise it wants. It generally, every Rakshasha you've heard of or read about generally prefers to masquerade as someone powerful or influential, like a noble or a rich merchant. You know that they originate from the 9 hells, and that they can freely enter the material realm and the lower planes as they see fit. You also know that typically a Rakshasa could be defined as an evil creature, a lawfully evil creature.
They're the worst kind then, fantastic.
They're a bad guy, it doesn't mean that they're a bad guy. Have you watched Wreck-It Ralph?
Yeah, he still did a lot of bad. Anyway.
I'm also running back to you to tell you he might not be a Rakshasha, but I'm not there yet, so you don't know yet.
I literally saw him with
you
true
saw him as a
seeing. He was
Rakshasa.
literally a demon.
He's a shapeshifter.
He is literally a demon.
Okay, fine, kill away.
Not kill away. He hasn't done anything bad yet.
This is crazy we're having that we're trying to have this conversation when all we seem to do is murder. And we judge people very, very quickly and immediately jump to kill. But if you want to talk to the demon who likes to dominate others and persuade them and influence them, by all means.
When was the last time that we killed something without talking to it? Before, like, the last time I can remember is going against the Durgar, and that was you.
Burn.
Something that actively came to attack us as well. Like, nothing, like, unless it's actively come to attack us, we have not just gone and killed a thing in a very long time. What is wrong with you? What has got in your bonnet, Korgrin? Something is clearly eating at you, because you are not the one who goes in and tries to kill things in our party. You're the one who tries to get us to talk normally. It's me, Arrabella DiPolo, telling you to not be a murder hobo. Something is wrong with this picture. What is wrong with you right now?
We are literally trying to discuss morality with a devil. And also, were we not trying to murder a certain Talion every opportunity we got?
I wasn't. Thank you very much. But please tell me, like, honestly though, what is the last time that we actually actively went and killed without them attacking us first?
Gurn.
I'm sure the Durgar was after that, but fine. I'll hold my hands up to my failings, if you want to call them failings. Murdering a fucking paedophile, rapist, scumbag, torturing scum.
That's something that actually tried to hurt us. That's something that actively tried to hurt us first. So that, like, isn't counting. That's something that we know was evil. I'm asked the last thing that we didn't prove was evil before we tried to kill it. Other than the fact that this thing is born evil, that it has done nothing bad. It is just going around living its best life. It's parading as a freaking halfling instead of a noble. It's not after power. It's literally just after fucking about and clearly fucking up my life.
I'm sorry, are we not all trying to be sacrificed to summon a devil or a demon? I mean,
there are demons walking around the planet every single day. There's tieflings everywhere.
Tieflings are different.
How?
They didn't choose. It's something in their lineage. They're
don't think a Rakshasha asked to be born as a Rakshasha.
And this guy is up here. He's not doing demon things. He's literally just going around the town.
You don't know he's not doing demon things. You haven't seen him do anything, granted, but I'm the one that's researched that he definitely hasn't done anything.
At this point, because you guys have been talking for a little while, Rennas would have arrived.
Guys! I'm not sure it's a Rakshasha.
It's a Rakshasa. I saw it.
Well, then it's not acting like any Rakshasha I know, which I might not know any other Rakshashas. Halfway through that sentence it occurred to me. Okay, it might be a Rakshasha, but it's just holding down like 7 jobs. I've met single mums with less like discipline than this guy.
And I just kind of like hold out my hand to Rennas, like facing Korgrin in like a C action. Like,
but even I want to kill him.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not necessarily true. He's still worth 10 grand, but you know.
He's literally parading around as different people. We don't know what his purpose is. Like, I'm not saying we need to go in there and kill him straight away, but
I'm
like
saying we don't
we
need
need
to kill him
be.
at all.
We do
Like,
need
we
to
have
be
to be
on our guard.
prepared. We have to be prepared to kill him if he attacks us. I agree, but I don't think we should just go in there and kill him.
I'm with Arri on that. I want to find out what the hell's going on. There is something that doesn't quite add up about all this. It doesn't quite make sense to me.
Like, it's
And
curious.
yeah, definitely prepared to kill him if he attacks us. Life forfeit. But you know.
Okay, I'm going to push myself up against the door, and I'm going to push the door open. I'm going to say, "Excuse me, can we have a conversation? I just want to talk."
As you open the door, Otti, you see Arrabella sitting there, currently eating a sandwich, looking like. She takes a bite.
I've decided I'm not going in there because I'm worried that she may have taken a friend into the warehouse with her, and I don't want to see that.
She's eating a sandwich at a table. I think she's okay.
Sandwich is not like a name of a friend. It's fine.
But I would still wait for it to be said.
Oh, damn it, it's you again. I thought I lost you.
Does she actually get my hit points as well? Or if you just literally copied and pasted me?
They just copied and pasted you, but I got rid of the division, so I know who it's, I know it's me. I'll take it.
Only you can see that it's got the same hit points. And streaming, to be fair.
If I tell you what, I'll do it like this, so you no longer have control of it. There we go. Shouldn't be able to see anything about it now.
And nor can streaming. Yes, I'll walk him.
I haven't earned much tonight, so... And I charge extra for groups.
I take out a pouch of gold. How much extra for groups?
Shut up and smack him.
Oh.
What is this? Look, I'm sorry, I was just having a little bit of fun of you, okay? Do you want me to turn to someone else? I can do that.
Yeah, please don't be mean.
I mean, it's a little bit weird that you look like our good and trusted noble friend Arrabella.
She
and I move a bit further in to let other people in.
She shifts on the spot, and now she appears as a Rennas, but in a Speedo.
Ooh, you are sexy as fuck.
Yeah, I thought so.
How'd you do that?
It's a little bit of magic, a little bit of innateness about it.
Like, Arri kind of raises an eyebrow. She's actually appraising the Rennas form in the Speedo in front of her, just trying to be secretive about it, because he looks
a little
pretty
bit
rich.
sick in my mouth.
Like
my fiance, ladies and gentlemen, sick in
her
mouth at the sight of me in a Speedo.
The fake Rennas looks down and says, "Wow, I didn't even have to adjust the girth down there. That's pretty good."
Oh, you've definitely adjusted the girth and down there. It's pretty good. Just saying.
Hey man, if I was walking around with what you got, I'd be confident too. So, is this a much more enjoyable form for you guys, or do you want me to turn it into
it's more of a
something
question
else?
of how you keep changing form like that without any hesitation and really, really quickly.
Because
it's not a
I
common
can do
talent.
it. It's something I can innately do.
Yeah, I mean, we've kind of heard of other demons that can innately do this. If I was to throw the word Rakshasha out there, what would that mean to you?
That would mean you're invading my personal business, and that ain't good.
I mean, the personal business of Rakshasha, as I understand it, is normally to take on the most convenient form at the time and murder, death, mayhem its way through town.
No disrespect on you, sir, but what's convenient about this? I'm very cold at the moment.
Well, I didn't ask you to turn into me with no fucking clothes on. There's a reason I wear clothes. It's because it's cold.
Then I'll turn into someone else. And
who isn't in the room?
Again.
Turn into whoever you want. Just wear fucking clothes. Then you're not as cold.
And now he turns into a blue-skinned Verity, but wearing effectively a gigantic peacock outfit, like loads of
I
feathers
hope
everywhere.
she's fully dressed, being as Verity
Yeah,
is
no. She's fully dressed, but it's kind of like a burlesque like dress, like very frocky. How's this, guys? Is this better for you? More
I
acceptable?
mean, better is a relative term. It
my
is
God,
better,
there's two of
yes.
them.
But is it good? Still not quite right.
Well, I'm sorry.
I mean, you
Sorry
seem to have a lot of experience of this changing form. Does that not include some sort of morality?
So Verity, you immediately walk forward, and she looks at you, and she goes, and she points her finger at you, and she says, "Hey, you look like me."
I need your outfit. Guys,
Get your
that's what
own.
I need.
Get your own. It's mine.
I
And what morality is there in changing?
Myself?
Yes, you can. Like, you're powerful enough to be able to do that sort of thing. And now there are two peacock-adorned dressed Verities.
I run up to the one that I just saw was not peacock adorned and put a red X on her forehead.
So,
It'll be important
Verity,
later.
Verity runs up to you, and as he doesn't have any red ink, I can only assume he pulls out his dagger and carves a red X into your head.
I punch him in the throat.
Definitely no. I stab myself in the thumb and drape my manky blood all over her forehead. That's much better.
I punch him in the throat before he can do it.
There we go.
Put a red X in your forehead now.
It's entirely up to Verity if she wants to do that.
What do I have to roll?
If you're gonna, no, he's asking you if you want to put a red X on your head. It's entirely up to you if you want to do that. Like, you take a swipe at Rennas, and you're not very good at swiping at people, and Rennas is very quick, so he's easily able to dodge out of the way. But he is pretty adamant about having an X on your head.
I will. Rennas, here's what I'll do, and then I change the minor illusion, so like my peacock outfit is like, I don't know, pink. And the different color, like a different skin, like when you're playing the same character in a 2-player game, like on Street Fighter.
Oh yeah,
that'll do fine. I appreciate it. Just need to be able to tell the difference between you two. It's weird.
She still looks like me.
Yes, but different enough that I can tell which one is you.
Well, I'm your friend. I was the original one.
What did we find in a cave?
You're aware that you were stood in front of us when you turned from me into her and haven't moved spots since that happened, yeah?
I bet you, if you and me, if me and her walked around these boxes and come out, you wouldn't be able to tell the difference between us.
But you do it. Are you lonely?
No, it's fun.
But you seem to be so insistent on wanting friends.
No, not really. Friends just bring troubles.
They bring companionship as well, though. Have you had friends bring you troubles?
I mean, I have. Don't get me wrong. I've got friends.
Have you got friends who know who you are?
I've got friends. I've got friends who know who I am, depending on who I look like, and then I've got friends whom I don't want to ever see again.
But no one knows truly what you are, then.
Well, some people do.
Some people in this town?
Yeah. Well, a few people pushed a little bit too hard.
And are they your friends?
Not really.
So does that not concern you, that not a single person who understands who you are is your friend?
I think this is going a little bit over my head. Verity, you start going for the boxes. It's mainly just trade goods in here. Wool, cotton, a few silks. It's just a general warehouse, really. She looks at you, Rennas, and the fake Verity just goes, honestly, I don't really care about friends. I'm just here for a good time. Now, on occasion, yes, somebody's pushed a little bit too hard, and then when they discovered something they didn't want to discover, then they get all uppity, and then I have to take care of business. Are you guys going to get uppity?
I'm going to step forward. I'm going to say, I mean, right now, it's in my favour. Buy about 10,000 gold coins to bring your head to some mutual associates of mine.
Oh,
What's
okay.
it worth to you for me not to do that?
This, and she turns invisible.
Okay, I would like to dash round the outside of this warehouse and make sure there's no other exits.
Yeah, you quickly run around. There are no other exits or entrances that you can find.
And I'll just yell back to is it Bellatrix is back there, and I can't see who the other person is. Arri.
Arri.
Don't move from the door. They're in here somewhere. I'll just sit on a box and just wait and say, "You've got the only exit blocked. Where do you want to go?"
Home, probably. Says someone from inside the warehouse.
So I take it you haven't got 10,000 gold.
Of course I haven't. Who's got 10,000 gold?
Well, I will do if I kill you.
Well, fuck you then.
But there's something about this that doesn't add up. I'm happy to have a conversation. Just stop turning invisible.
Yes,
I mean,
there's
come
something
on.
about this that doesn't add up. What the fuck? I look
Stop
over at Arri.
threatening-
What?
Yes, yeah, we were having a conversation, and then you threatened to kill me for money.
I mean, technically, I didn't threaten to kill you. I asked for a bribe. You've now made it clear you can't pay the bribe. But we're still
So now you're
negotiating.
threatening
It's
to kill me.
fine. We're still negotiating. It's fine.
Is this those hooded people that I take care of a few weeks ago? Is this regards to that?
Oh, I would imagine so, yes. Killing a bunch of hooded people was probably going to bring some sort of repercussion. I'd have expected someone like you to understand that.
Well, they shouldn't have tried to step in on my business. I like my privacy.
How do you take care of people who find out about you?
Well, generally, I just kill them. I don't like doing it, don't get me wrong. I'm not a particularly big fan of killing. But,
Inside check the
go right
killing
ahead.
part.
Go right ahead.
But also, do they sound like me now?
No.
Okay, because the voice slipped a little into
I think
Scottish.
he was trying Russian. I think you were trying Russian, weren't you?
I'm just trying different accents at the moment.
Fair enough.
Because he's shapeshifting.
The Rakshasha, he's got every accent possible.
Korgrin, your insight's pretty high. You can see through you can hear through his voices, and you get the feeling that as a Rakshasha and as a fiend, he may enjoy killing just a little, but you get the sense that he's maybe not the type of person who'll go out looking for it.
Do I call it out? No, I'll sit on it. I don't know if he knows that I'm there yet. I imagine so, but I won't 100% reveal myself.
You haven't revealed your position, so yeah, for all you know, he doesn't know you're there.
Noted.
So I'm going to shout out, what happened with these hooded figures then?
Well, they came to bribe me. They told me that they knew what I was, and I said, I don't know what you're talking about. And then they said, well, your thumbs and fingers give it the wrong way. And I said, I would sincerely suggest that you just go away and leave me alone. And then they went away, and then they came back with friends the next day and said, well, we're not taking no for an answer. We need you in our organization. I said, absolutely not. I'm quite busy doing what I'm doing. And that's when they got a little bit too invasive. And they said, well, we know where you live. We know where you work. There's not a single place in this town you can go where we will not be there to find you. So I killed them. And now, hopefully, and I was hoping it would send a message back to their friends that I am not for hire. So, but apparently you guys didn't get the message.
It sent a message back to their friends that you were dangerous enough to kill several of them without barely breaking a sweat.
I am quite effective at what I do.
I mean, I have a counter proposal for you.
What is that?
First of all, I would need your word that you have no desire to kill anyone who does not know who you are, and that you only acted as you did in a means of self-defense.
You have my word on that regard. I don't seek to kill anyone. It's half the reason I was kicked out of the Hells, actually.
Do I believe her?
Insight.
You're right, Ed.
I mean, I'll do my -1 insight, but I'm sure Corky's will be better than mine. Yes, it
Nope.
will.
Low roll.
Difficult to tell on this particular one.
I admit I have no wish to kill innocent people, which, as unusual as it is for a Rakshasha to be innocent, you do not seem to be overly aggressive. I'm sure you could have attacked us at any moment tonight. It's probably in your best interest that you did not, but I appreciate the fact that you did not.
The amount of times I've dry-humped during the last 5 minutes is unbelievable.
I mean, I am irresistible. I can hardly blame you for that. That's just natural attraction.
Indeed. But no,
However,
I have absolutely no desire to kill people, and I have no desire to go have my identity revealed. The sheer fact that you guys know this much and aren't trying to negotiate me was certainly worth a conversation. Tell you what, I'll do you a favor. And he becomes visible, but this time he looks most seemingly in his true form. A humanoid tiger with a pipe. As you can see, I am now going out on a limb to ensure that we're on equal pages now. Leave me to my devices, and then you won't hear it. You won't get any trouble from me.
I would need a little bit more than that, unfortunately. All your current personas that you have built up, they would need to go. Completely. Otherwise, I would not be able to go back to my employers and explain the job is complete. You understand, I'm sure.
So you're literally asking me to give up all of my lives. So what, you can get a payday?
I mean, I offer you this choice. In very much earnest, I offer you this choice. You give up all your current lives, or you give up your only life.
That certainly sounds like a threat to me, good sir.
It was intended as one, good sir.
It's more that if we don't say to them that you're dealt with, they'll send others after us. So if you
or what she said.
Leave your lives,
or you can go back to your boss and say, I don't want to work for you guys. I'm not interested in killing more of your guys. Just leave me the fuck alone.
They're the tippers. I can't imagine that we would be able to convince them of that.
I had deliberately avoided mentioning the name of the organisation until now.
I said it under my breath. Very, very, very quietly.
Ideally, it would probably be best if you left this town, but you clearly mean no harm. I understand this. I appreciate this, but you have to appreciate the position of my employers as well, that some random individual has cropped up, interfering with many aspects of the town life.
Tell you what, I will agree to your terms if you're willing to sign a contract with me.
And what would this contract say exactly?
Well, it's just a hashing out of the details, shall we say. What I would request from you, and then what you would request of me, and then we both sign the contract, and the deal is done. If you're willing to put something onto paper, then I can agree to this.
I can agree in principle to these terms, on the caveat that my good friend here, and I gestured to Verity, would just glance over the contract beforehand to make sure there was nothing untowards within it.
Of course, of course. Well then, he clicks his fingers and this long scroll appears. To spare the details, you would like me to give up my lives in Mount Tokyo and disappear from this town and not interact in any knowingly way, shape or form with your organization hereby known as... What is it called?
You can deal with just Rennas and his organization for now, that's fine.
Rennas and his organization. In payment of this, I would require that the individual party known as Rennas and his organization, which includes all of the individuals here, would leave me alone forever. In addition to this, I would also demand the justification of lodgings in a different place, as well as, I'm going to say, a suitable life for me to adopt.
And what do you mean by a suitable life for you to adopt? Because that sounds quite a lot like you'd want someone with an existing life to just vanish and you can pop in there.
Oh, no, nothing like that. Is there a blacksmith in town who recently disappeared? All of a sudden the blacksmith has come back. Did the lost child go into the woods but never found again? That child has come back. Something where our life is no longer being used, but did not have a full stop to the ending, shall we say.
Would just like a few moments to consult with my party.
Of course. You go right ahead. He starts puffing on his pipe.
I stared jealously at the pipe. And I move away.
Hand Rennas my pipe.
I smoke Harry's pipe.
It's a bit old.
It's a very old pipe now. I really should buy some new tobacco.
Is there a written
Nom, nom,
contract?
nom.
There is a written contract. It's very long. Do you want to read through it, Verity?
Verity will be reading through it and like making any checks for, sus things. But
Right,
before I give any advice, I would like to go outside. First, I'm gonna look to him and be like, I'm gonna miss having another me. That was cool. Anyway, go outside. Gonna get out, I don't know, some random shit I have in my pockets. Draw a unicorn on the ground and cast commune ritual style. 10 minutes.
Alright.
And so I would like to discuss with the party, but quite quietly, that, he doesn't seem like an immediate threat. But it concerns me that...
Rennas, I am meditating, please!
I'm not talking to you, I'm talking to the rest of the party. Mind your own business.
I am.
As soon as Verity comes outside, you just see Korgrin with his face in his hands. It's just silent facepalm.
It's like, this guy doesn't seem particularly dangerous, but he also doesn't seem particularly friendly. At this point, I'd kind of apologise to everyone but Arri. Yes, there might have been a small payday to deal with this guy, and I regret not mentioning that to you guys. But I can kind of see why they wanted rid of him. It seems a little bit dodgy to me. The fact that he wants us to agree they will never come after him, that's all very well, but what if he starts doing things that require people to come after him? They're then bound by the laws of some demonic contract, which I don't understand very well, because it's still laws, but I'm guessing it's not good.
I don't think we can promise that it'll be forever, and we have to put clauses in it. So, for your lifetime, you're a half-elf, that'll be for a long time anyway. And that as long as he harms no others.
and draws no attention to himself.
Yeah.
We could possibly work on that.
In terms of a life... Oh, sorry.
The fact that the tippers found him in the first place kind of makes me feel like he's going to be found out anyway. And I stare at Rennas and I'm like, why did you not tell us about the money?
I mean, a guy needs a retirement fund. It was a lot of money. And I just figured that killing a demon would be something on everyone's radar anyway.
I look at Arri and I said, why did you not tell us about the money?
I wasn't asked.
Yeah, both valid points to be fair. I can't argue with either of those. I just wanted an answer. Okay. Regardless of that, he's not, he was found out and then people came after him by the sounds of it. And, I don't agree with signing contracts because
Signing contracts with a demon is, risky.
Yeah,
contracts
I've
anyway,
heard this.
It's just dodgy anyway, because then you've got to do the reading shit, and you've got to pay attention to what's going on, and I just don't do that. I don't want someone else to do that on my behalf either.
And this is a demon that, admittedly, he may have been provoked, but he has still killed people. I mean, can we argue this town would be better off without him?
Also, we're at a weird kind of crossroads right now, so I'm getting very hellish vibes right now. There we go.
Bellatrix, do you have anything to chime in here?
Bella did say BRB quite a while ago. I don't know if they're back.
So,
couldn't tell you.
You guys discussed this over the course of a few minutes, and eventually, Verity, you have completed your ritual, and a golden circle sort of emanates around you, and your mind feels this connection to something warm, fuzzy, light, and friendly. You feel you feel connected to Steve right now.
Hold on.
So, what would you like to ask Steve?
So I know I gotta get 3 questions, so I'm not going to ask how you're doing, even though I would really like to. Steve, we have met a Rakshasha. Do I need to remove it from this realm?
Unclear.
Unclear, but it's a fiend. Surely you should have some sort of preference towards the morality of this. You're the one who literally told me, get rid of bad things. I don't know what to do. Because on the one hand, I've just met him and he hasn't technically done anything bad in my eyes. But he could do bad things. He wants to make contracts with my party, which can never really go right with someone who is innately evil. And just look at Korgrin, holiest guy we have, and he's torn up about it. But then the most murdery people in our party don't want to kill him for a change. I mean, I'm just a kid. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm looking for guidance.
Is there a question in there?
I would like you to make up your mind on whether I should kill him or not. Would the outcome be better if he died than if we were to make a contract?
Unclear.
You, Steve!
You have one more question.
Is there a way to figure out whether he will keep... If he could be good? Can he be good?
He says into your soul, not just your mind, your soul, Verity. He can be good, but he can also be an agent of destruction.
And Korgrin just sees me kind of face plant into the ground. Like, I assume I've been on my knees, like, trying to pray kind of thing, and I just kind of, like, fall forwards, like, Doof! That was no help. Korgrin, I'm sorry. I don't know what to do. I am genuinely conflicted right now.
Mm.
Can we get everyone outside for like 5 minutes?
So, Bellatrix, I'm just wondering, what's your opinion on what this devil is offering, or this fiend? Are you in favour of signing the contract so he disappears forever, or just or taking care of the problem here and now?
Oh, I missed the whole contract thing. Sorry, I was cooking food. What was the contract?
Contract.
So
he goes away, gives up his life, or all of his lives in Meltokio, but also
We're
Rennas
never allowed to encounter him again.
Rennas and his organization, which would include us and presumably the Tippers, must leave him alone forever. And we also have to provide him with a comfortable life somewhere else.
Which, by the way, I'll throw in right now that I definitely do not have the authority to guarantee the Tippers will leave him alone for the rest of his life. Just throw it out there.
Why would the Tippers
then
ask
if you
him?
were to-
They were bothering.
So it turned something that nobody has asked him. I haven't said it because I'm outside and I don't want to give away my position 100% just yet. But the Tippers wanted to recruit him, and he said no. And he said, "Well,
if nobody can have you, like if we can't have you, nobody can."
Yeah, basically.
Okay.
So they send people after him, and he killed them. So he is confirmed and kind of slash semi-confessed to murdering people.
Self-defense, by the sounds of it, though.
Well, depends on who started the fight, but
I
yeah.
mean, if you want to quibble over technicalities, Bella, fine. But he's still a demon.
Like I said, could we have everyone outside for like 2 seconds?
That's fine, but my back will be up against the door the entire time if we leave this building and leave him.
Because I just want to make it clear to everyone that Steve told me he is capable of great, 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 great evil. Like, he made it a point to tell me in my soul.
Capable of, but... Like, I mean, technically we're capable of great evil.
But the thing is that if we make this contract, like this specific contract, we are never allowed to encounter him again. Breaking the contract could mean something terrible happens to us, which means if he does start to do shit, we're not going to be able to stop him.
We can't fix it.
And I can't guarantee this contract anyway. I can't tell him my organisation won't come after him. I mean, I can go back and tell them that he's dead, leave him alone, forget about him. But if they find him again, they're going to chase him again.
The alternative is to kill him.
Rakshasha. Isn't that what they do? Didn't we learn that?
What's our alternative? To kill him now?
Like, because
I mean,
here comes that
he's
crazy
admitted
guy.
to
We
killing
don't know
people.
he does
It
shit.
seems
Why
fair
would
to
we
me.
intervene?
Or you just leave him alone, which was his original request.
I repeat the fact. I just let Korgrin know about the offer as well. Now that I've let everyone else know that was inside the thing. And by the way, there is 10 grand on this. Was actually a request of the tippers. Sorry.
I mean, I was kind of by the doorway anyway, so I pretty much heard everything. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, now
And just
everyone is
another
aware.
thing, did Rennas tell us about the things he found out in the house? Like everything?
Yeah.
I definitely would have done. I'd have said, that, yeah, he's got multiple lives around town. It feels like he's well established in a lot of positions. But nothing seemed like he was working them to a particular end. It was just he had all these
But
lives.
what about that forbidden temple? Like only really important people are allowed in now. Who knows what he's doing?
Maybe he could help us get in there.
He wouldn't do that without a contract.
Maybe we have a contract here. We could add a line to it.
Rennas, from what you were able to find out in your investigation of what he does in the Forbidden Temple, it appears he cleans the baths in there.
I mean, he still gets in there to clean the baths.
I would say a contract with anything like this is a bad idea. Like a fully signed contract, no good, no bueno, don't like. I don't think we should be making deals.
The problem is that it's not us who's going to lose in this situation. It's this poor guy. If he doesn't leave,
demon.
Poor demon.
Poor
Fine.
demon.
Okay.
Thank you.
But he's still like helping around town and stuff. You know, if we don't kill him, someone else is going to come out and get him. If he moves around, there's still a chance tippers are going to find out what happened. If we do sign his contract, we're fucking bound to a contract. I don't want to be bound to a contract.
No, I don't agree with signing a contract.
I want to be free. I don't want to, with the whole reason that we are going to these places to try and be free of being sacrificed to something else.
Sacrificed to a demon. Maybe we should kill this one, and there's one less demon for us to be sacrificed to.
I doubt this guy's going to sacrifice us to any demons or fiends or devils or whatever.
Would you like us to sign a contract proclaiming that?
No, I don't want no.
I rest my case.
No matter what way, I feel sorry for this guy because he's going to be fucked up if we don't do it. If we don't do it, Tipper's going to send someone else to do it.
At least then, we've not had to make the moral choice. Someone else has.
Okay, but what if 200 tippers die in taking this thing down? Is that still the good moral choice? 200 people have died?
I didn't say I was making a good moral choice. I was just saying if we left it, we didn't have to make the choice.
Avoiding the choice and still making a choice.
Agreed. Indecision is a decision to make no decision.
Too many words for Bella.
I'm glad that you guys are, thinking things through and choosing a less stabby option.
It's been a while since we've gone for a stabby option, to be fair.
Whilst I can see, from the perspective that he technically has done nothing wrong that we have encountered, if we were to have approached this guy when he was murdering those tippers, we would have, fought him on the spot, wouldn't we?
Mm-hmm.
That's situational.
Pardon?
That's very situational. That is something.
This is very situational too, right now.
But then everybody has the right to come and attack us if they see us attacking someone. Regardless of who they know. They don't, though.
What do you think Edgar's followers have been doing this whole time?
Yeah, but they're attacking us for a reason. They're not attacking us because we're attacking someone. They're attacking us because we're us.
Yeah, but we'll be inside a nice warehouse. No one will see us attacking anyone. No one will know anything about it. And we can just take a Rakshasha's head back to the tippers and claim 10 grand. This guy's not emitting my sympathies, I've got to be honest.
If you guys want to kill him, you guys kill him. I'm having no part in it.
But you're an amazing hunter tracker. We need you.
I don't care. And I don't care that fiends are my main... they are literally the butter to my bow. I am not doing this.
I mean,
what if I was to open that door, run in, and it was to attack me?
If it was to attack one of us, then yes, I would do it. But if you attacked first and I'd attacked you in retaliation, unless it was about to kill you, like I say I won't fight it, but if you guys are fighting it, I'm going to, because I don't want you guys to die, but still.
If we kill him, we're essentially only killing him because he said no to join the Tippers.
Yeah, which is why they
That
want us to kill him anyway.
sucks.
I don't care about the tipper business.
No, but this boy just wants to live his life. He doesn't want to be part of the Tippers. It does kind of suck that the only reason he's being hunted down now is because he said no, not because he's this.
Can I just point
But, like,
out the only reason
take
he has
Tippers out of
said
the
he's being
equation.
hunted out is because of that. We don't know that's the truth.
True.
Question: take the tippers out of the equation. He is obviously not against using any means necessary to do what he wants.
Also, he does get a sick kick out of killing people.
And he's a demon.
Fiend. But
Close enough.
different realms. I'm just saying, you know, it's all well and good leaving him to it, but like, well,
What about
happens when he starts to get bored?
you're
What happens if like someone just pisses him off too much one day?
Yep.
Like,
What
it's-
happens if someone just pisses one of us off someday? We all have the capability to kill.
I
You
normally
already
shoot
have.
them in the head.
And hopefully, like, what you guys are demonstrating so well right now is that the rest of us will try and keep everyone else in line.
But what you're showing me right now is that my desire to not kill is clearly not good enough because you want to kill what I don't want to kill. So clearly I should just go in and kill everything anyway.
No, just him.
Yeah, no,
Well,
this
no,
isn't a black and
This
white
is an
scenario.
unchecked time bomb.
You guys are saying it's acting like it's a black and white scenario by saying he's evil, let's kill him.
I'm saying he's risky.
We're risky. Everything's risky. We are literally
We're
living a
risky,
life of risk. Leaving everyone alive with power is risky. Leaving anyone who's strong alive is risky.
Well, sorry if I believe that I can trust you guys more than I can trust that guy.
Well, I'm glad you can trust us more. You know us more. But then I'd like to think you can trust us a lot more than you can trust anyone you don't really know.
No worries, Bella. I'm assuming that Bella is just against signing a contract. Is she against killing the Rakshasha as well? Okay, no worries. I'll keep that in mind then.
But yeah, this isn't a case of sign the contract or kill him. We can literally just walk away. Like, that is an option. We can just walk away.
This is true. But I
Because
still
if we
feel-
hadn't gone to the Tippers headquarters or been sent on this, we wouldn't be here anyway. We wouldn't have known about this.
But we did, we were, and we do. And we
Yeah.
do know the Tippers want this person dead. And, I mean, he hasn't
also
given me
wanted
many
Edgecombe
reasons
dead.
why not. And we didn't balk at that. And
Yeah,
nor do I have
and I
any
didn't.
regrets over that.
And look, you didn't do anything. Look how many
I
nightmares I
fucking
had for days
tried.
afterwards. Like, I couldn't sleep properly for ages. And now I think before I go and kill things. Not that any of you have noticed. You clearly think I'm a murder hobo still. But
I know
we can
when
just
you all
walk
sleep.
away.
Besides the point.
What'd you say?
I know when you all sleep. Besides the point.
But yeah, when I was having nightmares, you didn't have the whole stay awake at night thing.
So are we going to start a whole live and let live thing with this guy? We're going to walk back in and say, just look, stay out of trouble, and we'll leave you alone.
I think what we should do is, like, we're going to be here for at least a number of weeks. We're going to keep an eye out. I think we should keep an eye out just for a few weeks and see what happens. If the Tippers come and send more people in, then that's what's going to happen. That we can't stop that. But we can also avoid the Tippers in that time as well. If they think we're taking X amount of weeks to fulfill the contract, he might be safe. If he starts, as everyone sees, is the idea that he's going to start going around killing people. If he starts that shit, then we can come back.
We
think
can
for
always
now-
ask us around as well about deaths that happened in Jackalopes, Elopes, and Pokes, and just find out if it is just the Tippers or if he is, if they're really, really frequent murders. Like, don't get me wrong, murder is wrong.
We
But
wouldn't know if there's frequent murders because if he does murder someone, he just takes their place.
And also, he does it as
I mean,
different people, so you'd be looking
Verity has
at...
made a very valid point right there. We
Shit,
would
I had not
ever
even
know.
thought of that.
I hadn't
Like,
even
probably all the
thought of
people that he has
either.
taken over right now are people that he has murdered.
I mean, if you want to investigate that, like, Rennas, you found out all the positions he took up. Find out if those people went missing before they came back to work or something.
Very true. Very true. Okay. But if you want me to do that, then you might have to speak to this guy on your own, and I might have to run back to his house and remove a note I just left there.
You love
Why
leaving notes,
do you
don't
do
you?
that?
Like everywhere you leave a note. You
Well,
are...
I
It's
didn't
like
know you were
know
going to
somewhere.
find him. He turned
Touch
invisible.
nothing.
I didn't know
Nothing
how
was
good you
permanent.
guys
They leave
were.
a big Rennas was here ass print on the wall.
Oh, an aspirant. Manus' mind just
No.
like blazes up to a new idea. Ooh.
So I'm just throwing it out there, guys. I'm fine to leave him for now, but I would like to investigate first.
We will be here for a while.
I relatively like that plan, and on hearing it, I will agree to it and start departing to the house to remove the note that I just left there and remove any traces that I was ever there.
You do that now. We'll distract
Yes, I
him
am.
for a little
I am off.
longer, I guess.
Wait, just wait 2 minutes. Alright?
I'm not quite off.
What you doing in 2 minutes?
Can I go into the warehouse? Just excuse me,
Okay.
Rennas. I'll just
So you
step
walk
in.
in.
Just be careful no one slips out when you open that door.
As you open the door, there is a hell of a lot of smoke in this place. You've clearly gone through at least 3 satchels of tobacco waiting for you guys. Oh, you're new.
Yeah,
I'm
keep it to
staying
yourself.
close for. I'm staying close to Korgrin. Just throwing it out there.
How many people have you killed?
What? In my entire life?
Sure, but also be more specific in this town. So let's go with both numbers.
You first.
Can't say I can count.
So, you've killed too many people beyond counting?
I would say I haven't kept track, but I feel like I've killed those who are worthy of killing.
Well, that's where the difference between you and me is then, Sir Dwarf. I always remember my kills. It does me I think it's the right thing to do to remember all of the lives I have ended. For everyone only gets one life, and if somebody takes it away from that person, then you're robbing everything they ever were, they ever will be, and they ever have been.
Sure,
So,
sure.
it's
I'm
to
fully
remember.
aware your kind likes to use charming and beguilement and, you know, playing on cards with your charisma because you're all talkative. Give me a number.
You want Mel Tokyo's number? Think I've killed about... Probably about 7 people here.
7 people.
Yeah, 7 people.
Were all of those hooded people?
No, 5 of them were.
Who were the other 2?
Well, the first one was somebody who tried to have their way with me, and I clearly said no. They didn't seem to take no for an answer, and so I slashed their throat. The other individual was, who shall we say, a seller of people.
Insight check.
Go right ahead.
Ugh.
Korgrin, this guy...
Can I insight as well, please?
Alright, but you need to insight at the same time somebody else says insight
Yeah, I
as
forgot
well.
I was on mute. Sorry.
Verity, yeah, you can't really tell. Korgrin, you get the feeling he's not being entirely truthful.
There's something in your eyes. I don't think you're being completely honest with me, friend.
You want honesty, do you? Alright, there was an 8th person.
And who was number 8?
Number 8 was... Well, quite frankly, she was nobody. She was... Well... I learned about her, shall we say. She had a house once. She had a family. She gave it all up. Drank it away. She smoked it away. And she utilized a great number of narcotics in her system. And she beat her children. And she didn't seem to regret it. However, I didn't learn any of that until after I killed her, interestingly enough.
So why did you kill her then?
Well, she smelled right for killing.
See? There's the demon in you. There's the fiend.
And there's the ignorant dwarf.
Anyway,
unwilling to learn, only deciding what they see fit. Have you ever tried thinking for yourself beyond what your god tells you?
try to, but I feel like generally when you're already good, you don't need all that much umming and ahhing, you know?
Maybe because I am innately bad, I am attracted to bad things, and I make bad things happen to said bad things. So, one could argue that I did a bad thing by killing that woman, but then it turns out that she was a bad woman to be killed. Maybe that's a good thing in that case. It's a matter of perspective.
Maybe, but that's what's called hindsight, and you're just justifying your actions.
Oh, I have a great many actions to take.
Anyway, another question. You mentioned you left the Hells because you weren't mad keen on killing.
That's right, yes.
Personally, I think that's a load of bollocks. But why? Why would you leave that? Why are you averse to killing when you're clearly so capable and able and freely do so when you feel like you're justified?
It's because of the current climate at the moment.
Current climate?
Yes, between the realms.
Care to elaborate?
What do you know of the relationship between the lower realms?
What would I know?
Make a religion check.
Bonk.
You know, the 9 layers of hell, whilst it is fucking hell, there is order and structure towards it. Each layer has its own lord, and the lords lay down the laws, and and the devils there follow it, and there is structure to the chaos in there. You also know that the devils of the 9 layers fucking hate the demons of the Abyss. The Abyss represents complete and utter chaos, destruction. The demons don't even think about it. They just destroy. And devils fucking hate that. Devils like to corrupt things. Demons just like to destroy things. And they, despite being on the same sides of morality, shall we say, they are innately against each other. So that's what you know about them.
I don't want to say relay that, but I would, say to that effect. Well, I know that you hate the demons because they snip the life that you want to puppet.
Oh, yes, well, As a Rakshasha, I have something of a special relationship with the both sides. Similar to a succubus or an incubi, we can flutter between the two realms as we see fit, however we see fit. True, I hail from the 9 layers, and that is where I would go to should I require a place to recuperate and rest. But I don't like killing, because every single death that ever happens in the material realm, the current state of things means that they automatically go to the abyss. Unless they are it really depends on the manner of their death. Now, if they were a good and honest person, then one of your gods might snatch up the souls, but generally anybody who dies in unfair circumstances goes to the abyss now.
Insight, please.
Go right ahead.
Fuck, they're just getting lower. Shitting hell.
Yeah, it's difficult to tell on this particular pipe.
Why would that be? Why are they all going to the abyss?
No, it's something to do with that Demon Lord of Madness, Argonef. Sealed away a long time ago. Unfortunately, his contracts in the abyss still hold. You know, there are plenty of other Demon Lords down there. However, they were all fucked royally by him. There's never really been a king of the abyss before, but Argonef got pretty damn close.
So what you're saying is that any mortal that dies on this plane, or, you know, in any other plane, I imagine travel is possible.
No, it's specifically the material realm.
Okay. But all of their souls are going to the abyss.
I'd say the vast majority of them, yes. That's why I don't like killing, because I don't like giving the demons more numbers.
How is that happening?
Sorry, could you repeat that, Korgrin?
I said, how is that happening?
Well, it's ancient magics that the demons put in place. The divine gate, as you all know, prevents your gods from intervening in the material realm as much as they want to. Now, I'm sure they send their apostles to do their will, and they're able to give them some glimmer of their power. But the rights to people's souls, whilst there is a presence of the Demon Lord of Madness in this realm, unfortunately, he supersedes the gods. So only those with a strong connection, or even those who are in fact invited beyond the Divine Gate, ever get beyond that into other realms where their souls would go on and go into the unknown. Nowadays, generally in the last 5-6 years or so, pretty much anyone who's died goes to the abyss.
How is he? How does he have a claim on this realm? Is it?
Because a demon lord, by all rights and purposes, is a god, just as a demon. They are lesser deities, some stronger than that. The abyss is infinite layer of the abyss, infinite demon lords, and yet, out of all of those bastions of catastrophe, Argonef was the one who risen above them all. And then he waged war in the material realm, and then he got himself sealed away, but that in there lies the key. He was sealed away. He wasn't killed. And as such, his claims, his spells, his magics on this realm still hold precedence. I don't understand the full ramifications of it. I don't even understand how it fucking works. All I know is that there is a demon lord who has staked claim on the material realm. No other demon lords can match him. None of the devil lords can potentially overthrow him, unless we're actually summoned here, but I don't think that's something anybody wants to do. If you want to override Argonef's claim on the land, you need to summon another demon lord here. As far as I'm aware, it works. But yeah,
Kind of done that.
in what demon lord did you summon here?
Don't know if he's the Lord, but he was a Garistro and he was pretty pissed.
No, Garistro is It's a behemoth, but it's nowhere near a demon lord.
Right.
Do you know of any good demon lords?
Question.
Do you know of any? Do you know of any evil good gods?
Yeah, that Moradin's got some dodgy vibes
That's a
to me.
contradiction in itself. Evil good.
A demon is
that's meant to be
chaos incarnate. A lord of a demon is lord of chaos incarnate. A demon lord of madness is chaotic madness incarnate.
Question though, is the reason
Yes.
the souls are going to Argoneth the fact that you don't want to kill right now? Yeah.
Well, this is not Argoneth. They're just going to the abyss. They generally end up at the lower forms. What do they call them? Manuses, the little pudgy demon things, disgusting creatures. But yeah, generally anyone who dies gets transformed into one of those in the abyss.
So if Argoneth was gone, does that mean you would have no problem killing people to go to your own realm then?
Well, if I killed anyone in my realm, it wouldn't matter. They would probably
No, I'm
just
saying
come
if
back.
you would start killing mortals in order to have their souls sent to wherever it is you're from to heighten the numbers there, if I'm getting it right.
No, I have no interest in that sort of thing. Others might. I just don't like
And
killing.
why the history lesson, man?
Because you asked why I'm not killing people. There's two answers to that
But
question.
then that
The one is
makes no sense
I
if
don't
you
want.
said you're not killing to, you know.
But there's two answers to the question. I don't want more demons in the world, and namely, killing is so well crude.
So you'd rather just make contracts with people.
There's a slight organisation about that, don't you think?
I mean,
Everybody gets what they want in the end.
do they though?
Well, you want me to go away? You want me to give up my lives? I'd say if you sign that contract, you get exactly what you want.
I don't know. I feel like it's a monkey paw situation here. Get what you want, but you have the worst outcome at the end of it. You know, whole regret your choices, be satisfied with what you have kind of scenario.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
People rarely do. No
So-
one understands me.
Two
I
follow-ups
suspect
then.
this is the first time that you have ever even spoken with one of a fiendish nature. Like, had an actual conversation with. This is all very general information, like common knowledge where I'm from. Do you not talk about that sort of stuff here in the material realm?
What do you mean, just converse with fiends?
Yes.
No.
No, you don't, do you? Maltokio was, they're stuck in their ways, but I just assumed it was a Maltokian thing. I thought things would be a little bit more different elsewhere. I mean, hell, the amount of demons that are roaming around your countryside at the moment is... I thought people had just had a general acceptance of it all.
Not really. No. Material plane's not mad keen on being invaded by the forces of hell, the abyss, etc., etc.
Then why do you keep summoning them?
There are some mad fucked up people in power right now that are mad keen on getting Argoneth back onto this plane, which I'm sure would
that
be
sounds like a
bad
bad idea for
business.
everyone.
Exactly.
Oh yes. Oh, he's. I mean, I'm not saying anything of a history buff, but when I was in hell, during the time when Argoneth was last active, he got pretty damn close to destroying everything.
Which is what, we people, hopefully humanity in general, is going to prevent, or aiming to at least.
Well, I certainly hope so. I don't particularly want to get involved in a bloody conflict. It's far too grotesque for me, to be honest.
Well,
Yes, you're going back to your original point. No, I don't go out to try and kill things, but if I have to kill things, I'm damn well going to enjoy it.
yeah, therein lies
Enjoy
the
the-
problem.
Enjoy the little things, after all. But that brings us back to our immediate talk. You interrupted my lunch better part of an hour ago. Have you made a decision yet? I'd like to go back to my lunch, well, my dinner, please, actually.
No, not really. Still got a few more for you, pal. I'm really there's a scale and it's really one-sided right now.
Okay.
Would you say you're opposed to Arganeth then? And if he were to try and, take over the material plane, feed the armies of the abyss, etc., etc., would you oppose him, or would you just slink into the shadows?
I mean, if he came specifically to me, of course, I'd oppose him. I mean, I'm not particularly on his side. Can't say I'm a warrior champing at the bits to join the crusades to stop him, but you can't. I would say you wouldn't consider me an ally of his.
And then why Mel Tokyo? Why here?
I like the culture. Everyone knows their place here. Reminds me of home. Sure, right ahead.
Better, not great.
He's telling the truth on this one.
Hold on. I'm having like the butt of an idea here, but I haven't fully like fleshed it out in my head. I'm having trouble with it.
Speak it out. Speak it out of character.
But I'm just thinking, like, is there a way we could convince him to maybe be kind of like a spy, get some intel? Like, in that way, he's not involved in the actual fight. He gets to do what he likes, maybe make a couple of contracts while he's in there, because they obviously have no problems with, like, demons and fiends and shit.
It's gonna mean signing a contract. We're not gonna get away with not signing a contract. If we don't want to kill him, we're gonna have to sign a contract, or we leave him alone. It is the three options is he does what we want, sign a contract. We kill him.
I was thinking,
we
is
leave
there a
him
way
alone.
we can make it sound like it's fun for him? Like, get him
You
out
can
of the
certainly
town for a
try.
bit, get the tippers off his back.
You can certainly try, Verity.
Okay. Like I said, just... Okay, back in character. So, you're not looking to directly fight or kill anyone, no?
No.
And Arganeth is definitely not beneficial to your cause.
Oh, no, he's beneficial to no one's cause.
And just throwing that out there, these tippers, they've been on your tail, pun not intended, because you have an actual tail.
Thank you for noticing.
Maybe, like, going somewhere for a couple of weeks could be beneficial to you.
What, like a holiday?
A holiday, but with a purpose?
What purpose is that?
Not deceptive. Well, yeah, you're kind of deceptive. That's kind of what I would call
He's
it.
very,
But it's clever.
very deceptive.
I'm a very good liar.
Like,
For
you make a
example.
very good me. You make a very good them. Say you're able to get into the capital with it. Maybe even into the castle. If you
It's
could find
cold
information
in the capital.
for us, we could get rid of this Arganeth threat. You don't have to do any active fighting or killing. Just help us out with some information.
What
If
do
it
I
gets
get
too
out of
threatening
it?
for you, you can bounce.
I mean,
Pardon?
that's all well and good, but what do I get out of it?
You get a party on your side that is more looking towards that. Let me rephrase that. You have a team that is more capable of getting rid of Arganeth before he fucks shit up. You get out of the Tipper's hair for a while, so not out of their hair, but you get off their radar so they think, you're gone. Like, don't you guys typically come back after you're killed? So it could have just been they were killed, but they've come back and now they're really pissed at you type deal. Like, they'll have to learn that they just gotta deal with you sticking around, not doing what they want. Like, learning lessons the hard way. And I mean, you like this whole mundane living. Wouldn't it be a little bit exciting to just be right under the nose of the guy who thinks he is the king of those hells or whatever, and to be one of the things that take him down without him ever realizing?
I think you
That's
grossly
pretty.
overestimate my ambitions. I work these dull, meaningless jobs because that's probably the best way I'll never ever be noticed if I go right up to the king of your country. I'm fairly certain that's putting me in the danger zone.
I'm just saying it could be pretty impressive brag material, and like, we're pretty set on not wanting to kill you. It's just like something I thought I'd bring up because it would be nice if you could do it. I have a way that I could keep in contact with you, which would be fun. I mean, I think that, can I insight to see whether he likes me or not? As a person, just as a friend?
You don't have to insight. You can he's got a very neutral disposition towards you.
I mean, it could be pretty funny.
I want you to make a persuasion roll. Unfortunately, the DC is quite high because you've been using some of the right arguments, but some of the wrong words, unfortunately.
Damn it. Persuasion. Okay, don't tell me the result, because after I roll it, I might use my twist of fate thing.
Sure.
Ooh. I'm gonna use it.
Okay.
Little bit better. Probably not in DC though. It's probably something like 25.
He stares at you for what seems like a long time. It would be bad to have Argonef back. Certainly.
Like you said, bad for everyone. And like, we're the idiots stupid enough to take on the task. If you make the task a little bit easier, then, we're all more likely to get a result we want.
Okay, how about this? How about we make a deal, but without a contract?
Okay.
I shall act as a spy, as you say. I shall go to the capital and meander my way in and have a good look, and report back to you on what I find. In return, I require the death of someone.
I thought you weren't about killing. Please don't make me do the killing.
This is a little different. This is not someone I need you to kill. This is something I need you to kill.
But you're already trying to kill Argonef. You really want to add more to my plate? But what is it?
I don't really know what it is, but I know it wants me dead, and it's the reason I can't go back to the 9 layers. If you were to take a little trip over there and deal with it, I'd help you.
Could we even do that?
I mean, I can learn a spell eventually that can get us there if, our friend Sanma here gives me something that can take me.
He hasn't actually revealed his name yet. Sorry, that's a mistake on my part.
If friend Toby the Tiger here can, give me something to get there.
But he is great.
I can send one of you there, and you'd have to probably wait a few days. It takes me, I can send 2 people in a day, so you'd have to wait 3 days for everybody to get there.
But if you had a tuning fork to that realm, eventually I can get everyone there and we can do what you need. In 1 day.
Before we agree, what are we killing? Why would we be killing it?
It is... Well, as you know, there are 9 layers to hell. Well, you might not know that. I don't know how well you study the hell in this realm. Each realm has a lord, and it progressively gets worse the further down you go. The original lord of the first layer of hell was a good sort, shall we say. Unfortunately, his position was taken from him.
Ugh.
Sorry, I'm just getting my notes up, actually. Sorry.
Are you doing stuff to do with hell now?
Apparently
I
it's
don't
on the
even know
menu.
what's going on anymore. I
Welcome
got
back.
word vomited. I'm sorry, guys. Oh my
What have you
god.
done? Is this your fault? Not again.
Probably.
Well, as we know, the first layer of hell is known as Avernus. It was ruled by an individual by the name of Bell. However, shall we say, somebody who shouldn't be in charge is now in charge, and a lot of us oppose that hostile takeover, and I was one of them. A lot of people died, I got away. Unfortunately, there's, shall we say, a bounty, well, not a bounty, but there is a ring around my head that gives off my location if I ever set foot back in that realm. If that particular ping goes off, then I will be quite utterly destroyed. You'd be doing me and quite a lot of other anti-chaotic devils a favour if you were to go to this first layer of hell and kill the fallen angel known as Zariel.
A what?
You say
A
you can
fallen
send us there
angel.
to a day. How do we get back?
Oh, well, I'm sure you'd be able to find your own way back.
I mean, that's something I'd like a little bit more set in stone before we left, if that's okay with you.
Oh, of course. Well, as your friend was saying over there, I could provide a tuning fork. If you come back to me when you have the abilities to transport yourself between realms, then I'll be more than happy to give you a tuning fork. And that way you can travel freely as you see fit.
On that day, would you be happy enough to go to the capital, as my good friend here has suggested, and be our spy? And more importantly, would you be okay with us splattering a bit of blood around your house and making it seem like you were dead?
I don't think that house is going to be my house anymore, seeing as how you know where everybody knows where it is. It looks like
it's only us that knows where it is, and we have you at our mercy right now, right here. We have not told the tippers. We do not intend to tell the tippers.
But which you're saying you're going to splatter blood all over it, which tells me you're going to now go tell the tippers or show the tippers where I live.
But also, didn't they already know because they knocked on your door? No, not that I'm being pedantic, but I think they were looking for you anyway, weren't they?
They were. They said they knew where I lived, but I didn't believe them.
From my point of view, the splashing over the blood would only happen after we had the ability to travel realms and you were willing to leave anyway. So, for now, we are at a truce.
Well, that is my standing offer without a contract. If you go to the first layer of hell, Avernus, kill Zariel, and allow Bell to retake his place as the lord of the layer, then you'll find yourself in the good graces of a great many devils.
Well, give me a second. Group huddle outside again, I think. Discuss this. Before we make any solid plans, if you don't mind. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to need to pray the fuck on that.
Right. Well, I think
Enjoy
you know where to,
back here. And
you know where to find me.
One question before you go.
Yes.
So Zariel, this fallen angel, however that's possible, is bad for Hell's business. Does that mean they're wiping out Hell? Or is this we're making Hell worse in general, and that's bad? We're making Hell
is
badder.
hell. Hell is hell no matter how you look at it. But Hell has rules. Zariel does not have rules. He's upsetting the natural balance of things in Hell, if there is such a thing. So it's entirely up to you whether or not you think that's a good thing or not. It's a bad thing for me, and if you want my help, hell, I'm fairly certain there are several other Rakshasha that would be more than happy to give you a helping hand if you re-establish Bel as the Lord of Avernus.
That is some serious propositioning.
Well, if you ever feel like you're up to that kind of challenge, that is the price it will take for me to help you without a contract to do what you want. If you want me to get involved in these material affairs, I know it's a big ask, but it's the only thing I would ask. And it comes with a compact deal. Not only will you have me, but you'll have quite a number of other devils that'll be more than happy to assist you in things. It really depends on how far you're willing to go to seek help.
Out of character, what was it the tippers wanted for proof? I imagine they wanted proof. Was it a literal head?
He literally didn't mention proof. It was just killing him. I'm not going to try and blag killing him until we have anything set. So yeah, so don't worry about that. Just
no. It was just what Verity put in chat.
Okay.
It was just
like when there was no specific request for proof. I'm sure his head would have sufficed. But I'm also sure that his house covered in blood and him gone might also suffice if I was to blag it heavily enough. But I don't intend on doing that until we have some sort of deal with him.
Okay.
Or at all, because the tippers are my family, so screw you all.
I think the bigger question you need to start asking at this point is, why did the tippers want a demon that can shapeshift on their side to begin with?
Because he'd be a massive asset. That's a foolish question.
It's quite self-evident.
Yes, I know.
Why do the drug dealers want someone with access to pharmaceutical supplies on their team?
Yeah.
Well, Korgrin.
No, you're being facetious, but I know what you mean. I completely agree, but for what?
Are you under the impression that I think the tippers are some altruistic, lovely people?
No, but
I still work for them anyway.
I think it goes beyond being vigilantes and pickpockets. It's
I mean, being a shapeshifter would definitely help you be a pickpocket. Let's be fair.
Hey, all I'm asking is to employ a little bit of critical thinking. That's all.
And at the moment, I actually trust this guy a lot more than I trust the tippers. So
that's because you're all terrible people.
Well,
tippers have never done anything to you.
Well, in regards to the tippers, if you want to know a little bit more about their, shall we say,
motives,
that's the one. You have been, Korgrin and Arrabella have been summoned by Timothy Tipper to go to the frontier.
Rennas and Arrabella. Korgrin has not been summoned by the tippers ever. Not you, Korgrin.
So
yes, if you'd like to know.
So if you ever want to hear what their motives are, you can get it just directly from the horse's mouth. So.
Like, to be fair, I'd probably say quietly to Korgrin, I have a feeling it's something to do with where we saw Gerald.
Speaking of which, I'd stick my head in the door and say, Tiger Guy, have you ever been to the frontier?
No, I can't say I have. I've been to Meltokyo for years.
Now he's suddenly Haran.
No one's been to the frontier. It's bloody a pain in the arse. And I'll leave it at that.
Well, you know how to find me. Just do what you did before, I'm sure. That young dwarf there, I'm sure He has the ability to see me even when I don't want to be seen.
Just remember that we know how to find you the next time you decide to kill some people in hooded figures that you don't like.
Just tell them to stop following me. With that,
And I intend to do so. A live and let live policy for now.
And he
Bye.
shapeshifts. He shapeshifts into Bellatrix, but basically wearing what's that thing that Borat wears, where it covers?
Oh
no.
Change right now.
Oh,
Change
no.
now, or I will kill you.
Wow, Otti, now I see what you're seeing.
He's not paying attention. He's
Change back.
The strap's just covering her nipples.
Very
Basically.
nice.
Bella. Hey, my wife. Fuck.
Well, look at me. I have a chair. I am the king. You do this. You do that.
So yeah. But there's your standing offer from the Rakshasha.
Well, I mean, we let him go, so we're clearly not going to kill him, are we? Not right now, anyway.
I think you may all be right about me. In that whole conversation, all I heard was that if we kill him, he's getting destroyed in hell, so we don't have to worry about him coming back.
I didn't hear that, and now I do hear that. I'm more on board. I mean, I was pretty much on board.
I'm not
admitted to
saying
killing
to
innocent
kill him.
people. Fuck him.
Yeah, I'm not saying to kill him. I'm just saying that is literally the only thing that Arri really paid attention to.
I think he's probably better
we
off
need to
dead,
start
but here we
asking
are. He's not dead.
Bigger questions, I think. I'm still not mad keen on him walking around, and I get the feeling I'm probably going to get scolded by God for letting him walk away. But I also need to have a chat with said God about whether we want to deal with a greater evil or a lesser evil. Or both. Who knows? Maybe both. But
I take it you're up for killing a fallen angel?
I don't really know what a fallen Do I know what a fallen angel is? A religion check. I don't know. I guess am I aware of anything that's ever happened like that before?
Go ahead and make a religion check, please.
That name sounds familiar.
I mean, outside of character, this sounds a lot like Descent into Avernus, but yeah, I've not played
That's
it.
right.
I have no idea.
It's where I got the names from. So
That's fine then.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not going insane then. I was like, I've heard that name.
Yeah, essentially the whole campaign of going into hell and getting rid of a fallen angel who's gone down there. But
with that score, Korgrin, several religions in history have had a precursory tale where no matter how holy one is, if one basically lets it get to their head, then they can become so inflated with corruption that even the greatest among us can fall to the darkest depths of jealousy, corruption, or anything. So generally each religion has got that precursory tale of someone who was in the light of their Lord has fallen in some grace and now delves in evil and chaos. No specific mentions to this Zariel, but generally when an angel falls, it is met with intense sadness from the god who has lost an angel.
okay. I mean, it might be worth just having a little pray on. We get to do a bit more recon, I guess, if we want to. You're all welcome to. I definitely need to fucking pray on that. But yay, no fighting? Question mark? I don't know. What time is it? Is it dark? Is it late afternoon?
It is dark, so I mean, to be fair, you guys have been here for quite a while. You're starting to get a little bit
He's
tired.
talking to this arsehole all day.
So I'll just say, for the sake of brevity, you guys know how to find this guy. He's not going anywhere. Tiredness is starting to grip onto you guys. You've had a lot to... You've discussed a lot and been have a lot to think about in that regard. So I say you guys retire to your rooms at the abandoned Peanut.
Before
Yep.
we go to bed, I quickly run to the number 9 house again, and I just like bang on the window, and I'm just like, I forgot, bless you, and then run back home.
The door, the window opens up, and you see this guy in a nightcap. Just like, what?
Bless you, sir, and good night. I'm saving the world.
Kids these days on so much drugs. It's
Too much spice.
Do you spice?
Just spice.
Spice. It controls the world.
Do you spice?
Spice.
Do you spice?
I do not know what you mean.
Do you spice?
So, you guys retire to the abandoned Peanut. You have your evening meals. Is there anything you guys would like to talk, roleplay, do before turning in for the evening?
I'd like to affirm my belief that from everything I've heard about this guy, I think we should just be killing him. I'm not quite sure why we made a deal with him and left. He sounds like he has murdered innocent people. They might have turned out to not be innocent after he murdered them, but that's not really how the world works now, is it? You wouldn't let me get away with that shit. Why are we letting him get away with this shit?
You have done that. I'm pretty sure.
I've murdered someone after he tried to steal food from starving people, and after I found evidence of him torturing fucking children. Which part of those 2 murders was the same as what he did?
I don't know, it's just kind of in my head these days that we like to kill before we really discuss things.
I mean, I'll hold my hand up. Did I kill... I'll hold my hand up. I kill before I explain things to the rest of you. It's not my fault you take too long to catch up with things. But there's always a reason. I just haven't told you. You still knew the reason before
and then there are repercussions, Rennas.
I still knew the things, and I killed them for those reasons. He has killed people for no reason whatsoever. It just happened to turn out okay.
Rennas, you kill things, then there are repercussions, like, I don't know, a whole lockdown in an area that's impoverished till people starve to death before we're able to figure out a plan altogether. I appreciate that you are taking a step back and we are able to discuss this with everyone. But I can also understand from Korgrin's point of view that this is a fiend, which is innately evil. And in my contract with Steve, I'm supposed to, rid the world of evil.
I just want to hold my hands up.
Give me a fucking magic 8-ball and give me an I'm sure.
I can happily admit there are repercussions to my actions, but that doesn't mean my actions weren't just. I kill people who deserve to die. The hell with the repercussions. Repercussions are not a reason not to do a just act. This person deserved to die. I killed him. That person deserved to die. I killed him. And what this guy's admitted to is murdering someone because of how they smelled and then finding out later, oh, actually, they were quite a bad person. That is not a just killing. What is wrong with you? They are not comparable at all.
Your actions ended up killing almost a whole district of half-elves.
No. My actions ended up killing one person. The capital's actions killed the half-elves. I didn't kill them. The capital is corrupt.
I know, but it was through your actions that it ended up happening when we could have had a result had we
And they could have
discussed
all
this
just starved to
beforehand.
death in peace and harmony with the rest of the capital, withering away in the gutter
You're
where
not
they
listening to
belonged.
me,
Is that what you're
Ren.
trying to say?
I'm saying, Ren, is that we could have had we could have done what you wanted by doing the just murder, air quotes, but without the result of the whole lockdown and complete bombardment of that whole district.
I'm just
But
going to
you went
step in and
rashly.
say,
This is the problem we're having here, is you acting rashly and doing things, which is why I'm saying I appreciate you talking it through now. And
okay.
yes, I don't believe this Rakshasha is a good person, like killing someone because they smell. Even if he knew that they did all those bad things beforehand, killing them still isn't right. Which, in a case of, like, believing they have the right to dictate who lives and dies, which again puts me into the whole moral dilemma of like, what gives us right to, decide who lives and dies? Which is why I try not to. But
I mean, that's where I was going to go. I thought we were arguing about the wrong thing because obviously, yes, I've killed people. There's been bad consequences, but yes, and I do believe that I should have discussed it with you beforehand, which is why we're here. So we're definitely arguing about the wrong thing. Should I have killed people in the past? No. Did I? Yes, but we can't do anything about it now. Does this guy deserve to die?
Kill them then, is what
Okay.
I'm saying.
But I think this guy does deserve to die, and you're right. I haven't killed him yet, so what do you think, guys?
I'd like to pray. Go on, Otti.
I'm sit there absolutely gobsmacked and say you can't argue the fact that someone has made the decision that someone needs to die and then make the decision that someone needs to die. If you don't mind, please keep quiet. I am trying to do a ritual. I'll go back to my ritual in the corner.
Okay.
I flick water in Otti's face every 30 seconds.
It's very distracting.
I'm gonna go get a drink.
That's what you get.
And I'll walk to the bar and I'll ask if the barkeep knows anything about deaths happening in jackalopes, elopes, and pokes.
Well, that happens in Bingo Key.
Yes, someone remembers the plan. Well done, Harry.
I am not aware of any deaths happening around there. It's generally a well-protected and guarded area.
Yeah.
Any
Would
random disappearances with people coming back?
You came to the bar with me?
No, I'm just reminding you as the player, because that was something we
Stop.
brought up earlier.
Stop rather gaming.
It was something we talked about earlier, that is, if you did kill someone, you would back as them.
Yeah, I suppose, but with Arabella's cheating keen mind, she remembers everything ever said to her.
Any
Up to you if you
random...
want to ask that.
So, are you aware that we came back... I'm going to call her Sabrina because I've forgotten her name, but I remember that the token looked like Sabrina. Any other cases, like with Sabrina, where they disappeared for a while and returned?
Nothing that I know, dear.
No, that's fair.
No,
Tokyo is quite a quiet place, then.
Well, we're certainly not quiet, but we understand our place and we get on with it. Is there anything else for you, dear?
Keep the ale coming, please. I've had a day.
Oh, of course. The white rabbit runs to what it only knows, but the turtle will get there first.
The white rabbit is very late, and it's about to lose its head, and I'll walk back to the table.
Bellatrix, what's your opinion on the matter? Do you think the Rakshasha should die?
I'm not sure.
Kill it.
I
Kill it
mean,
now.
So, because I wasn't here when we found out about him killing the smelly guy, what was the deal with that? Was he one of the tippers?
So he lied about he's killed 7 people since he's come to Meltokyo. 5 of them were tippers. Two of them
Yeah.
were genuinely bad people, and he killed them. But he lied, and Korgrin found out he was lying for a good insight, that there was in fact an eighth person. It was a woman he killed who turned out to be a bad person, but he didn't know it when he killed her. He only found out later that she did deserve to die. The only reason he killed her is because she smelled off, and he took that as justification. It's not like he
What she
doesn't
did
like
bad was like
killing.
abuse her kids and stuff.
Okay. But there were two people that were innocent completely, no odd smell, no bad doings.
No. The other two people that he killed were there was a human trafficker and somebody who, when he was working the night, tried to force himself on her, or the Rakshasha, in hooker form, basically.
So it sounds like he is killing people for doing bad things, except for the one person who killed just because they smelt bad. But that's his intuition.
Oh,
We
that's
have killed
okay then.
people. No, what I'm saying is we have done the same. We are doing the same currently if we're killing him.
We literally did the same with Yakato.
Yes.
We killed him because he's a bad person.
Yes.
Because we knew he was a bad person, not because he smelt kind of funny and he turned out to be luckily bad after we murdered him.
He probably
There is a
smelled
difference.
evil. Like, she almost definitely smelt evil, and that's why, like, I don't know, what's your favourite food? You know? You go past it, you smell it, it's there, you're going to eat it.
So you're going to trust a demon that they can smell out evil.
I am
With no
comparing
questions or
everything.
concerns at all. Just, yeah, that seems legit. That seems like something they do. Kill away, Mr. Demon.
Like, we've literally had a person summon a freaking Goristro. Like, I'm not surprised by anything now.
No.
Which is exactly why I wouldn't want someone to murder people on the sense of smell. If someone summoned a Goristro, you might assume that person was evil. If someone smelt around at that exact time, they might assume Verity was evil. What you are doing right now is condoning Verity's murder.
People are assuming our parents are evil.
Not people, just a few Bellends incorrectly.
The majority of the world. The majority of the world would kill us because we are descendants of them.
That's just because they've been lied to by the few Bellends in power. If we were in power and we told everyone that our parents are responsible for him being locked away, which is actually a damn sight more accurate, I'm sure people would be rallying around to protect the fuck out of us. Power is what makes problems, is what solves problems and makes problems.
Anyways, Korgrin, you go take a moment to yourself in a personal space and you begin to pray. What do you pray?
Do I serve you better by eliminating this Rakshasa now? Or by correcting Elle and unseating an additional demon lord who is a fallen angel? You know, like which do I do better to serve you? The greater, correct the greater evil, or slay the lesser evil? And that kind of mentality.
Are you casting a spell, or are you just praying?
I was gonna just pray. I was intending on just casting this tomorrow, but I'm happy to pray now and then also cast a spell tomorrow because I didn't have anything prepared for it.
Yeah, okay. So we'll do it like that then, just for the sake of brevity. So, having your connection established with Moradin, you can feel your subconscious, your psyche linked to this all-powerful presence, the light of Moradin. And the response you get is, the future is very unclear. The world is about to change. Great fight is coming. A fight needs fighters. You need allies.
Yep.
It is your choice where you get those allies from. How much do you want to win, my child?
I mean, not gonna lie, that's kind of dope. I've got God's permission to go recruit demons. Fiends.
Yeah, your god just said just do whatever, man.
But
Go for
also, like, whew, that is off my conscience now. I have God's approval. This is great. Fantastic.
I was gonna say, we're about to be fighting demons. The more demons on our side, the better.
Yeah.
Kind of sucks, but
Devils, but
devils. Either way.
anyways, you all find yourselves falling asleep.
So
Except for
before
Verity,
we
which-
go to
which
sleep,
is weird.
there's one thing I want to do, and I'm going to
Yep.
cast Find Familiar, and as a little white cat with a little blue tuft, and I'm just gonna like put the cat like in between myself and Bella and be like, "Here's a cat," and just like
Yes.
scratch the cat.
This cat's perfect.
Also, can I confirm that I removed the note from his house?
Yeah, you did that.
Okay, that's fine.
Perfect.
So the cat seems like it's behind its ears being scratched. Doesn't take too kindly to you, Bellatrix.
Oh,
Heartbroken,
Like-
I'm sure.
what the fuck?
It's loyal to Otti.
It's so horrible.
Bella cries. She just wants this cat to
Yeah.
love her.
The cat jumps on Otti's head quite often, unaware of its, unless you actually tell it to do it, you get the feeling, Otti, that the cat's general personality is one of indifference.
Tell it to love me.
I literally just said the same thing.
I just look at the cat and I'm just like, under all circumstances, you are to love this woman as much as I do.
The cat goes over to you, Otti, and just kind of nudges its head in between your legs, and then walks off.
It doesn't like me. What have I done?
No, it showed the affection it was commanded to.
Oh.
It'd probably be a fae. Out of all of those, it'd probably be a fae.
Remember, can you choose, or is it just decided?
I think
can't
you
remember.
can choose.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not godly like in any way, so it's probably not going to be a celestial, and I'm not really evil, so a fae
True.
kind of just sounds
Nothing.
better with
Yeah.
like Otti. So
The spider will be chased by the cat, just so you know.
The thing is, isn't the spider like the size of a cat as well? Or is it teeny tiny?
I assumed it would be tarantula sized.
Okay. I mean, I assume cats
Anyways.
are tiny as well, but yeah.
Anyways. So, morning comes, you've all had a long rest, and Korgrin, you've finished your communion and you have received your answer from your gods. You all meet downstairs, ready for the day. What would you guys like to do?
I'll ask Korgrin, did he speak with the big guy?
I did. lot less strict and rigid as I initially thought. Very of the mindset of kind of allying where we can against against a certain you-know-who of madness.
Right.
And we should possibly take our friends where we can get them.
That is definitely a surprise.
Yeah, you're telling me. I mean, I've studied his teachings. No, I don't want to say all of my life. I'm still pretty young, but for as long as I can remember, it's a little bit weird to get a note from God that says, "Hey, put that aside for now."
There's no chance it's been intercepted, is it? Like, definitely, you spoke with your big guy.
I'm pretty sure I've never spoken to another big guy.
Yeah. Fair.
It felt like him.
Just goes to show how dire the situation could be.
Well, I'm very happy that we didn't kill him then. Just means that it sounds like we're going to be going to hell at some point. But hey, let's be fair. We all knew that I was going to end up there anyway.
Aye, preferably not before I rescue my dad. I'm not about to go doing favours for a lesser demon devil. Before I rescue my own father, just as an FYI.
We have many, many things to do before we end up in hell. So don't worry about it. The dad is definitely a high priority. Family always comes first, you know?
Aye. Do we want to go to the August Temple? Do we want to do anything else before that?
I was just thinking that if we've got the whole day, and I believe, did you say the August Temple was a bit of a walk?
It's like less than an hour away from Meltopia.
Go and have a look. See what's around. There was something that I read somewhere, which I now can't find because I have every single.
Have you read the books I sent you? Right?
I read them before the session, yeah, and that's why there's something that's sticking out in my memory. But I can't remember in which one it was. Yeah, I reckon we go and have a look. What's the harm in having a walk? Fresh air might do us good. Clear our thoughts. Cat will hate it. It's perfect.
So before we leave, does anyone want me to scry or anything like that before I prepare any spells for the day? Do we want scrying? Do we want me to legend lore on anything? The legend lore is like getting magical insight onto an object, place, or being.
That's another thing. It does. I just want to confirm. Does Otti tell the party about what she's learned about Meltokyo, about the August Temple, and about Suampati?
Yes, all of those. Yeah, I won't be not shady bitch. Everything I read is. Everyone will be bored by the time I finish reciting it to everyone.
Right. So, are you happy for me to basically put those books into everyone's inventory
Yeah,
for them to
yeah,
read
that's
at
fine.
their own leisure?
Yep.
Okay.
As you mention legend lore and say you can find out anything about any object, you see Rennas reaching towards a silver dagger, but then he stops, thinking that maybe Korgrin isn't the best person to tell him about his assassin grandfather's lineage.
I don't know if I would pick up on that, but...
Alright, so you've all now got 3 new handouts in your journal.
We do.
About Meltokyo, about the August Temple, about Suampati. This is what Otti has told you. This is what she learned in her downtime in Meltokyo.
And just as a thing, since Verity's asked, I will try a scry then on Bliss. But didn't you say before that your clothes were bought by Bliss? So technically they would count as a belonging of Bliss or something like that. Like, didn't we figure out that there was a way we could get a bit of a 1-up on the scry DC.
It's basically
That was
Verity
it.
can give you. Yeah, so the old ritual book of verse. So,
Then
what's
I
your
will-
spell save DC?
My spell save DC is 16. The item applies a possession or garment -4. Body part, lock of hair, bit of nail, or the like is a -10. Many regions look like her, so where is it? I don't know if they're additive.
Okay, so you cast Scry, and you sense that the spell has worked, but in a very similar fashion that you have experienced before, the spell itself, well, the location that you're trying to scry on, is being blocked.
Okay, so this is like when I experienced it with my father after the whole I've used too much divination magic.
They became aware that somebody was using divination magic to have to communicate with this person, so they employed anti-divination magic. It's a
I've
similar.
walked up,
It's
tried the door. It's locked.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's exactly basically what's happened. So
I will. I don't know if there's the 10 minutes on that, or if it happens and then it's kind of like I'm butted out of it. Either way, once it stops, I'll be like, it worked, but it didn't. There are instances where there's kind of scrying, anti-divination. I've tried to speak to my dad, and it's not worked. Whether it's of her volition or someone else's volition, I don't know. I couldn't tell you. I don't know if it was her doing.
I have literally seen no cameras all night on Streamy, and now suddenly Bella and Korgrin have appeared out of nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
I can only see Bella and Korgrin. Oh no, they've gone again.
They're gone.
They've come back, but if you ignore Roll20, it acts like a child, and it's like, well, now I want your attention more, so it starts to work again. So that's what's happening. If you don't acknowledge it, we're good.
Yeah.
But I'll just, like I say, kind of relay that as best I can to Verity.
Okay.
There's no nature behind it. I don't know if it was Bliss or someone else, but it's happened. But it's food for thought. Let's take. Thank you. Consider me blessed.
Okay, so with that, the party makes their way out into the streets, and once again, you've seen the same hustle and bustle as the previous days. You can see the people going about there.
For tobacco stall. Now that you've got it in my head, I want tobacco.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, you can go and acquire tobacco, not an issue. I believe the prices are actually in the PHP.
It's a good job, because that pipe you gave me earlier, it was filthy. It was that tobacco would be there for months. What's wrong with you?
Stars.
Sorry, not sorry.
Okay, I'm going to put DPHP because otherwise I get polyhydroxybutyrate production in transgenic. Yeah, basically it talks to me about
reasonable.
actual tobacco.
Huh.
But cool, I will do that now. Thank you.
Okay. So, yeah, walking through the streets, people are respectful. They bow before you as you walk past them. Street vendors offer you their free, try me food to see if you can you want to buy some more. You walk past Palm Leaf Plaza. You can see the statue of Sawan Pati, as busy as usual with the normal amounts of people just sort of camping out of it, picnicking. It's a relatively warm day with a nice breeze that sort of caresses across the trees that scatter around the various places in Maltokyo. It's a very green city. Like they respect nature here, and everything is like trimmed, similar to those bonsai trees, but on a much larger scale. Other than that, there doesn't seem to be anything of any particular note going on the streets that you can see.
I haven't put much thought into it since.
Just another
well over my head. I do want to head back there at some point, but for more purchasable reasons.
So, I'd say you guys spend the better part of the morning just walking around the streets of Maltokyo, just getting lost in the culture, getting to learn a few more phrases, which they
eating some Maltokian food.
Yep, a lot of mochi. A lot of they enjoy pork and beef here. Like they pan fry it a lot here. It's quite delicious. They've got there's a lot of exotic flavors here, like very intense flavors. It took your palate a little while to get used to it. Your backs are still not forgiving you for sleeping on the floor most nights, but it's just their way here.
We were going to go to the August Temple, weren't we?
It's up to you if you want to go there. Before you want to head there after your walk around?
It's definitely a destination.
Mm.
Okay. So, eventually your walks take you a little bit further to the northwest. Northwest. And eventually you find yourself crossing the bridge out of Maltokyo and going along a very well-travelled path towards a set of cliffs in the distance. There is even from over here, think waterfalls, but like the size of Niagara Falls in the distance. You can clearly notice them, and as they fall out, you can see they shoot off into dozens of different rivers. And there are plenty of casts in front of them, like huge standalone mountains that shoot upwards. You can see buildings are engraved inside of these cars. And as you get closer,
since we've been here, he knows where we are.
Yeah. As you get closer and closer, the trees become different. There are lots of rice paddy farms out here, a lot of that, but eventually the paths disappear, and instead it's just freshly cut grass, like an entire plain of freshly cut grass. You can see loads of people out there. They are dressed in orangey and yellow robes, and they are just sitting down cross-legged, meditating in these fields. Some of them are just sort of jogging around, exercising. Others are working alongside the peasants, shall we say, in planting crops in the rice paddies. Eventually, you come close to a bridge, a stone bridge that goes over one of the many dozens of rivers, and you can see in front of you an entire forest of what can only be described as cherry blossoms. Most trees you've ever seen are, the most interesting forest you've ever seen is the Ever Autumn Forest, where the trees were constantly in a state of autumn, where they were dying but not yet dead. These trees, not a single green that you can see, all pink, violently pink, as far as the eye can see, blossomingly perfect. Inside of these forests, you can see an extremely large stairwell leading up to an even larger temple. And as your eyes adjust and you begin to take in the immediate landscape, you realise that the mist that generally formulates over the area because of the size of the waterfalls secedes a little, revealing two extremely large temples behind the original one you see, for three temples in total. Absolutely gargantuan in nature. And as you take it all in sight, do you think to yourself, this is where Wicca grew up. This is where Wicca trains. Welcome to the August Temple.
Pretty.
Oh, doesn't that look beautiful?
This is where we destroy it. We tend to destroy everything that's pretty.
All of a sudden it blows up and everyone dies.
Yeah.
Argonath was here all along.
I've seen you in underwear, Arri. We haven't destroyed you yet.
Oh, jeez.
I was going to say something like that, damn it.
I'm a terrible person. I just said it without thinking.
Rennas, did you get rid of your token for your profile?
No, I don't believe so.
You had to get your token on there, but it disappeared.
I can change my character profile. Players can't actually change their token. Only GMs can.
Huh.
So if my token's missing, you hit it.
Must have been something I did then.
Fair enough.
Thought I had everybody out there.
Thank you, Verity, for putting the fire away.
Interestingly enough, this is actually one of the very first maps I ever created when I first built this campaign. I made this map over a year ago with Tom Wicca. So
fully in mind.
I've been sitting on this one for a year.
I would definitely train Kung Fu here.
To be fair, I think it was probably about a year ago. Like, we were just finished in Greenfield about this time last year.
So, you guys make your way over the bridge, and there are a couple of individuals that are currently discussing or talking on the bridge. They appear, for all intents and purposes, to be monks. They've got shaved heads. They've got that orangey, reddish-like robes. Sort of goes down half their body, exposing one shoulder. And they carry themselves with great distinction. And as they approach, they turn towards you and they say, "Season's blessings upon you, strangers. Welcome to the August Temple. We do not recognize you. Are you new here?"
We have not visited before, but a fallen member of our party has been here before.
Have I a fallen member? Who do you speak of?
Fallen is possibly not quite the right word. He gave his life into a magical life tree, but Wicca was his name.
Yeah? Isn't he? Ah, yes. You know of Wicca?
He fought alongside Wicca.
He left a while ago. You say he has fallen? Into a magical tree?
Yeah, that is literally it, really.
His spirit lives on, but his body is gone.
I personally never knew him that well, but he never struck us as one with a great sense of humor.
Did we make it out that his giving his life to a tree was some sort of joke? I'm sorry if we did.
No. You get the sense that they don't really believe you, but they don't want to seem rude about it.
we've come here to pay tribute to him, as you know, this is the place that he grew up. Would you be able to guide us through through the temple and the best way to do that respectfully?
Of course, of course. Wicca, he was under the tutelage of the Grand Master Suam Pati. He would be the best person to share the news of his untimely departure from us. But, and the other one chimes in and says, what about River? Yes, of course. Wicca had a good friend here. Recently promoted to Master, even named Second Master by the Grand Master himself. River on Mountain is the best person I would say you probably want to speak to. If I remember correctly, they trained together.
That definitely sounds like a good port of call. Thank you very much.
Well, if you would like to come with me, I would be more than happy to escort you to her dojo.
I will follow.
So, they lead you over the bridge and into the blossom plains where the petals from the cherry trees flutter offwards and sort of form this soft ground that you tread through. Like, you've seen these two monks, they tread very lightly, like they're very light on their feet. And it kind of, weirdly enough, it kind of almost instills a sense of guilt or even shame that you're treading on these petals so, non-delicately the way that they are attempting to do.
I'm trying to be very, very delicate.
Yeah, you're better at it than the others because of your training in like nature. But eventually they lead you through up the steps, which look a lot bigger than what you thought at a distance. Some of you actually get a little bit out of breath just climbing them because they are very steep. You have to like for Arrabella, you have to jump and like pull yourself up a little.
Reach up to Bella
Eventually.
and just be like, please, these steps are as tall as me.
I got you.
Thank you.
Shoulders.
Eventually, you are able to get your way to the top and into the actual temple itself, and it is a very wide and open space. There are lots and lots of people around here, all dressed in similar garbs. You actually have to walk through a plaza to get to them, and you can see probably about 100, maybe 200 of the monks are currently in some kind of choreographed dance, where they sidestep in unison. They make hand strikes in unison. They sit on the ground in unison, and they are all watching a single individual, somebody who's a little bit more robust, somebody who carry themselves with years of experience, like a bit of an older person. They've got a number of beads sort of stuck around their chest and their abdomen, and generally just he looks like a teacher, if anything. And the monk's guy and says, yes, that is Master Hella. He is one of the oldest serving masters here. This is his personal dojo at the moment. Tell me, what do you travelers know of how we train here at the August Temple?
Not too much.
Well, Times have certainly changed from our old traditional ways, but generally anybody looking for a place nowadays can come here to the temple. We take any and all shapes and sizes. Some are even left here as children, and they are raised by the temple themselves. When you become a student of the August Temple, you are given a master, and you join that master's dojo. That master generally dictates everything that happens within their own dojo. They set the training regimes, they set the course of the future. When a student is deemed ready enough, they will undertake a trial to potentially become a master themselves, in which case they will found their own dojo, and it will be up to them to attract more students to help their dojo grow. The one who governs the entire course of the temple themselves is, of course, our Grand Master, Suan Pati, who has been Grand Master for the better part of 40 years. Even longer than that, I think. Yes. But generally, we all have our own ways. Master Vila is my actual master, whereas my friend here answers to Master Elle there. Yes. So they continue onwards, leading you through the various halls, until eventually you become into a kind of a garden within the temple itself, like the first temple. And here, the garden itself is split up into various sections, all determining their own kind of mini houses, shall we say. They have their own little walls, but they don't have any roofs. Like, you can see the sky, and the sky shoots down into each one of these homes, but they're just separated by just thin layers of walls that just go all around. They lead you through quite a number of the almost maze-like sections, and eventually he gets to one, and he says, "This is where Master Riveron Mountain resides. I do not know if she's available at the moment, but we have an open door policy here for masters. If you wish to join her dojo, you only need ask. But, as you say, you are here to report or tell her of the fate of an old friend of hers. So, I wish you good luck, and I would certainly hope to see you in training one day." And with that, they give you very low bows and go about their day, leaving you in the middle of this large temple with the open sky overhead, with the various sort of enclosed spaces around you that sort of section off mini houses, shall we say. Now, the doors in front of you, they are closed. They are wooden, like black wood in nature, like oak-like. They don't appear to have any locks on them. It just quite literally appears to be ones that you can slide open and inwards.
I mean, I'm quite tempted to join. It sounds amazing. They probably wouldn't be too keen on me stealing half the things here.
I get the feeling they're probably not too mad keen on knives either. They seem to do a lot of punching and kicking.
I mean, Wicker threw a lot of darts. I mean, darts are basically knives. They're just slightly smaller.
That's like saying that a sword is a big knife. Like,
so we're on the same page. We understand exactly what we're saying.
No.
What would you guys like to do?
We can either speak to River, or just find our own way to Suan Pati.
I think River's going to be our best bet, to be honest.
Probably.
Yeah, River's going to give us some good background, I think.
Fine with me. Go for it.
Okay. So, you slide open the doors, and inside you find effectively a mini river, and a stone bridge that goes over it into a wide or even elongated single-floored house. You can see a small shrine in the middle of effectively a lake or a pond to your left, and to your right there is a lot of sand and rocks there that clearly has the markings of calligraphy placed in them, and there is a single individual currently sitting down and meditating in front of the river. She's got dark skin with black hair that's sort of tied up into a top knot on the top. She's wearing blackish-like strappish vestments, and she's clearly very, very athletic. And she is just listening at the moment. She's not looking at you as you sort of enter into the place. She is just being attentively quiet. As you file in one by one, she opens an eye. She says, that she gives you a nod and waves her hands to come forth.
So yeah, I'll go over the bridge.
Yep, cross the bridge, appearing about as respectful as Rennas is capable of.
Okay.
Personally, I think Korgrin would be at the back.
So she gets to her feet and she pats off, she wears shorts, so her knees and her lower legs are exposed, and you can see that she's not wearing any shoes. She's wearing basically straps on her feet where her toes are exposed. She just sort of brushes the dirt off a little, and she bows before you.
Kind of do not a full-on bow, but a head tilt, kind of as a sign of respect back. And say, we are looking for River. Would that be yourself?
Yes, I am that which goes by the monicum of River on Mountain. Have you come to join the dojo?
We have actually come with a more personal reason. We have come to inform you and pay tribute to our lost party member, who we believe you knew before they left to come and find us.
Whom do you speak?
We are referring to our gnome companion called Wicca.
Yeah. It's a name I thought I wouldn't hear for a long time. What has become of Wicca?
He gave his life in order for a more spiritual life going forward. His body is gone, however, his spirit went into a life tree. I was trying to think of a way to put it, but yeah, it went into a life tree.
Life tree? I do not know what such a thing is. But you've travelled you must have travelled quite a ways. You don't look like you're from Maltokyo. Just to come and inform me of that. Thank you. I am very grateful for this. Are you tired? Would you like some tea?
I think we can have tea. I think that would be nice. We are originally from Oakenheath, where Wicker was born. So we have come some way to. We were going towards the capital, and this was a stop.
I see. Well, it is a shame. Wicker was a good friend of mine. We were in training together. I was a bit ahead of him, but I showed him the basics before I was risen, shall we say. But I am saddened to hear of his departure from the material realm. He was a good one. He was angry, but it was hoped that his journey would help him deal with his anger. Did he learn peace in the end?
I believe that he did find peace, and I believe where he is now in the Fey realm and in a more spiritual place. And I believe he's probably at peace. I don't remember if we asked him in the ice caves.
I see. Well, at least he was able to have a wholeness of himself. There are a number of people here who will be saddened to hear of this, but I am in your debt for bringing this news to me. I thank you. I shall go get your tea, and if there's anything else I can do to make you feel at home here, please just let me know. You look very capable. Are you seeking training here at the August Temple?
Do you have any training that does not require a lifetime's commitment?
Unfortunately, there are no quick and easy paths to enlightenment.
It seems that our lives have other destinies in mind, unfortunately. If we survive, I would love to return and take you up on your offer.
That is a shame. But not our way of life is not for everyone. Wicker and I, we were born here, and this is all we ever knew. It is a good life. It's a hard one, but it is a good one. Anyways, I prattle. Let me go get your teas, and you may rest. Please, come with me inside. She goes inside the house, leaves the door open for you guys to come inside and make yourselves comfortable. And I think that's where we'll end tonight's session, guys.